differences. And then, of course, the Des mentioned Sky. I mean, I have my doubts, to be very fair. The Sky changes, I think, hit Bind so hard because she used to be so oppressive on that defensive side over on B long. What is your answer to keep control of that space and get that information on the pistol, Quack? It looks like it's going to be a stack push out from Zeta. Control of that part of the map
already, and that's just such a new flavor for Zeta Division as well. Going aggressive. Oh, this is great.
I mean, they tried it a couple times in the offseason. The execution not always clean, but hey, we'll take what we can get to end the rounds earlier than the last 10 seconds of each side. So it's a new look.
Definitely one that's welcome. I think Global Esports, on the other hand, though, maybe just going to take things slow for the time being. They are starting things out. This is a bit of a debut as well. Now, Bankai coming in. They are
Oh,
starting things off, pushing deep into A, using Poison Cloud just to obscure vision. The get-go getting the plant in.
Yeah, the wingman, of course, makes things a lot easier. Going to be pretty useful around that truck. The big question is no opposition. Global Esports should have an inkling that either they need to push out or be very wary of the flank.
Oh, I feel like Lightning Fast is aware of this. They definitely heard the dog now. Russ.
नूरस भाई
But now they're starting to feel surrounded.
हेवन से कैसे आ गया बे फुल प्लैंकिंग
Shade
हाँ
hidden.
फुल
In
रोटेशन
case someone pushes into him, he might be able to catch off a couple of hits. Deb does find one onto Lightning Fast. That's a good start now.
Laz
got the info, but not quite the tags. Russ holding up by Dice, getting a double kill now. You are sticking the defuse though, thanks to the Sky Smoke. 8 seconds left, and Zeta picks up the round.
I mean, I was about to comment, all right, Russ wanted to talk about firepower. He wanted to say that we can all aim and shoot. Sure, you proved that in the pistol round, but guess what? You still do have to play around the spike. I know some people like to rant about
हंस
shooting,
रहा है हंस रहा है हंस रहा है
but there's also an objective.
Oh, we all got kind of distracted in that moment. It was so odd, but
एक
it
बार
is
रुक
what
जाओ
it is. And I mean, Zeta is going to pull off such hijinks just like that. I think it's a very good new look to them.
Yeah, definitely. For any of you who have been waiting for Zeta to have this evolution, at the very least, they are committing to this color change. And with the rookies, too, let's talk about that. They touched upon it on the desk, but two members who started as Academy players under that Zeta banner, now both getting the shot onto Tier 1, and a great triple from Uran.
He does drop to Russ, but still, damage felt and done. And the force from Global Esports just kind of falls apart. What is this? It's so strong. Atarashi Zeta Division, and they are still ringing true. Bankai and Lightning Fast, though, picks up the spike, now looking for a new option.
I mean, what do you do here? Like you mentioned, Quack, they forced, so they have to make something happen in this round. Saving on a force with a Stinger and a Spectre, not something you ever want to have to choose to do, but it's also
कहाँ
like
पे
it
है
gets moving
ए पे उधर ब्रिम
with the Cypher and
और
Viper on
साइफर
attack.
ट्रिप लगा रखी है
You've gotta
रेडियो
hope
देता
the stars align.
काई
You are stuck between
ए
a
पे कुछ हो रहा
rock and a
है
hard place, and it's only the second round of your very first match in kickoff.
Rock in a hard place.
Go go lightning
Well, I mean, this entire map is just walls everywhere, and it's not looking like any of them are about to
विजन
blow.
ब्लॉक
Still
स्पाइक
fade out.
Just gotta walk.
रैंडम फायर हाँ हाँ सही टाइम पे निकल गया
Great new look as well.
Okay, the first step is there, a weapon upgrade, and they have control of showers as well.
स्काई और रेज भी आ गए
Three
साइफर कहाँ भाग रहा है
This is not impossible, especially if Bankai has the Bulldog. They are thinking that he's probably up around showers, but he's actually wrapping back around to rendezvous with Lightning Fast.
Yeah, and you have the double snake bite as well. The post plants are available too.
देखते हैं क्लियर कर रहे हैं अलग अलग जगह क्लियर हो गया ठीक है अब इनको पता है मिड में तो होगा ही ठीक है इजी भाई सावर्स रेज ने देख लिया था स्काई ने ब्रिम ने पीछे का देख लिया
Almost dicey. Yeah,
बस
I mean,
बचा
I
मिड
love the fact that they're still counting the options for that post plant, right? They were already pushing out, already wanting to make sure because they have the numbers in
कम
advantage,
ऑन
we want to get in
जी
contact, and then we can have someone stick onto it once all that lineups come through. But Uran, I mean, a great hold here on
ओहो
the
बढ़िया
we were mentioning Uran and Huron, both these guys. Uran's the one with actually much less experience coming straight
मेरी
up
तरह खेला बे
from the
बिल्कुल
academy
जल्दी
roster,
जल्दी मार दिया
and
सब
having a
कुछ
chance to go through tier 2 and Challengers Japan. And
जल्दी
this
जल्दी
is
मार
when
के
you
मर
want to
गया
build up that confidence for some of these younger players.
Definitely. I mean, experience is one thing, but confidence is such a big factor. And you can tell that he's starting to feel a little bit of it. The timing on that snake fight was perfect, and then just spraying things down as well. You're around
ठीक है लॉन्ग से
for the time being. That stack that you mentioned from before still up and prevalent.
रैंडम फायर बूमबॉट
Definitely have a little bit of information, but now just playing it safe back
ठीक
off.
है पता लग गया
I mean, you know with the force, the opponents aren't going to be on an eco here, don't greed, right? I mean, this is
Don't lose your rifles.
anti-eco textbook through and through. No need to
विनर साइफर अब तक होल्ड कर रखा है
this bind.
उन्होंने ये साइड
I
को
mean, sure, with the sky changes, we talk about the timings, but you don't
ठीक
even
है
need
वे
to
पे
spend
पुश
the
होने
seconds.
जाना
You should
बस
be
लेकिन ये पे तो
fully
हटा ही नहीं है
have the
बंदे
cipher setups on a short
साइफर कैमरा
notice.
बोल के
To Showers, you have backup from
मिड
Sugar
से जा रहे
Zero.
ट्रिप फायर है
I mean, this is just up to G on when they make their
Wow,
move.
dude, they're playing with the
बस
timings as well. Sky Smoke well timed by Sugar Zero, now popping over with the
बहुत लो
incendiary.
एचपी है भाई
Can't plan.
Just
10
blocking
भाई
the
लो
plant.
एचपी पूरे
Labs is having a field day with these shots. Step coming through from heaven as well. There's the second one.
10 ही बचा
Last is gonna be Russ, and he's pretty much pinned down up by Lamps.
I mean, so many people around the
नहीं इन
world
बंदों ने
just
छोड़ा ही नहीं वो
dream of
जगह
days like these when
साइड ही नहीं छोड़ी
Zeta, quick decisions, fast rotates, the backup from depth, the trade angles being held, the decision making so far. I know it's very early, just a couple rounds into the first map,
But we like what we're seeing.
but we like what we're seeing because it
3-0
was so
भाई
rare
you
to
can do
see
it
this from the old Zeta, and it's great to see that even with the core, they're willing to adapt and utilize the new forces that they've upgraded with.
Heck yeah. I feel like they're not showing off too much in their books just yet. I mean, they're randomizing some of these positions as well. This time, Laz back in towards Hookah.
Yeah, and here's the big thing, though, right? I mean, Global Esports, because of that force, we gotta remember,
देखा
after the pistol, yeah, the score should be a 3-0. This is where GE starts to show what they prepped, why they picked up this bind with the Gecko as well.
अभी यहाँ पर कैडा खेल रहा है
Oh,
इनका
that's going to be
देखते हैं इस बार
L.
क्या करेगा
I think that's why there's this switch up in positioning from Zeta as well. They recognize
नहीं नहीं
through
चल
trying
एक
to
दे
go
आके
defensive, but
ठीक है
without the information, just gets swung on
भाई
all
मार
too
ले है
much.
पावा
Sugar Zero is the only one left, and he's only got a sheriff, so gonna have to back off and just kind of give them the sight.
Global Esports should keep in mind that this is, in essence, the bonus for Zeta, right? So GE shouldn't be losing too many weapons. I would say one at best if you want to make sure that you can kind of catch back up in the long haul, trying to keep hold of U-Haul as well from Polvi. But he is alone. Everyone waiting for the post plants here.
Wow. Still,
भाई
though,
KO भाई
Sugar
पूरा
is absolutely right. They don't want to lose the
फाइट
weapon.
का
They're
एंगल होल्ड कर
moving
रखा है
away from Zeta, pushing into the sky
ओहो
smoke. Polvi, the finish
भाई इस
gun
फाइट के ऊपर
is
क्या क्या आ
shooting
जा rहा
all
है
over the place.
And he's
सब
rotated.
कुछ
This is
देख रहे हैं
so
हमारे
hard to
फाइट पे
read from Laz. I mean, Lightning Fast is going to get it
नाइस
at the end, but there was no way Laz was ready for that
नाइस
wraparound from Polvi. Oh, you
कोने
know,
मिले के मारा है
I mean, Polvi is one of those members that I think fans from EMEA who have been following closely into the challenger scenes have kept their eye on this guy. But such an unknown factor, especially in Pacific. I mean, not many people would have been keeping their eyes on there as there's such a wide pool.
हाँ ये
But
पहला वाला
I
बढ़िया
mean,
था
this is why my teammates, my coaches hype me up. I'm able to lock this down by enough time.
मेरा भी
The
एक दिन
post
ऐसा
plant's
हो
still there, so the round is all but guaranteed.
I mean, precisely, that's kind of what
ओहो क्या मारा है
Coach Spin was talking about during the interview. This is the guy that we want to keep our eyes on, and he shows
एस
exactly
भाई
that.
एस
In addition to pushing that
भाई
sky
एक एस
smoke, I think they knew that it was Zeta going in for a slower retake, so they knew how to exploit that. Next round, though, Zeta gets the buyback up in
भाई को
mid.
लग आ रखा है
Has the neural theft available. Urine and Depth actually really close to their ultimates as well.
Yeah, and I'm keeping my eye
इस
on
बार रेज
Polvi's
उधर है
movement as well. The whole
पिछली बार रेज
triangle
बी पे
going
खेला
long, yeah,
पहले
that's pretty standard.
अब ए पे
But
आ
the
गया
thing is
क्योंकि ए पे
he's starting
लगातार
to
पुश
play
हुआ
a lot more lax because the timings on your guiding lights, you could really just work it off of that 20-second timer here and there. And now, yeah, you can see Huron's like, I don't want to use these too early because they ain't coming back. Gotta be ready for that, yeah, potential retake.
He's going to use the dog instead. Trailblazer clears out, doesn't see anything.
बैंक
Blaze King might have heard it, that's why he falls back.
Yeah, but the thing is he basically baits out that important utility with the Dizzy, which he gets back in 10 seconds.
प्रिडिक्ट करे
Blaze
दोस्तों
King is
प्रिडिक्ट
utilizing the counter
करूँ
angle
प्रिडिक्ट
from Gecko to Sky so
भाई जी
well.
को वर्ड दूं
The difference though, but still you got to keep in mind there are 3 players stacked up from Zeta Division on the A site, and Laz
आजा भाई 10 रुपए जी पे
ahead. Dev with the positioning, tries to sneak through, but Bird's alive. Blaze King shoots him down.
चलो
Last plays are around the Cybercation stand, but here comes Thrasher. Has to shoot it, has to reload, tries to run away, still alive. Polvi going in for the
मेरी
chase.
बंद कैसे होगा
Benkai wreaks a bit of havoc from
हो
Lamps
गया
instead, and still here
नाइस
comes Polvi.
पोलवी
Just no fear. It doesn't matter if it's a smoke or a molly. He'll just run right
छोटे
through
मार
it
का
and frag you out.
वाइपर इनका अच्छा खेल रहा है वैसे ये
With that,
जट्टा वाला
Huron's the only one
बाकी
left
का तो
for
पता
this
नहीं
retake. Benkai's got the angle, just wall banks through Dice.
बैंक
Oh boy, I think a lot of us are gonna have to get ready to eat our words as Global Esports. They are firing as soon as they pick up those rifles.
I am loving this. I mean, yes, we had Zeta Division and we are hyping them up, but at the same time, I mean, it's just so much going on for Global Esports. I think we had quite a bit of doubt. A lot of the GE fans are still supporting them, and it's just really lovely to see. You know, we're very familiar with Benkai the Entertainer, the Dreamer, but here comes Benkai the Fragger as well.
And he used to have those moments when he fragged, also specifically on the Cypher. So it's great to see a return to form. Obviously, some known factors like Blaze King and Povey up to a certain extent. But it's good to see Russ and even Benkai shooting on all cylinders as Uran says, you know, I'm one of those new recruits as well that's picked up for talent.
I think this is
ओ
going to be
गेको
Global One
गेको देखा होगा
once
रेस
again.
दूर चला गया
Gotta
भाई
be
यही
careful.
सही मौका
Can't
है
underestimate Zeta Division. Yes, they are eco. Yes, it's sheriffs, but going in for the one-on-one like that, you're still landing the shots. Russ, though, on the other hand, just going to waltz right into A site, gets the opening pick.
I mean, listen, I don't want to run out of all of our storylines too early, but a fragging IGL, that's a rare breed right there from Russ. So, looking good so far for
प्लांटिंग
Global
नाइस
Esports.
बहुत बढ़िया
Leadership from
कैडी
EMEA.
चीज बोलो कैडी चीज
Is still hidden.
Just got spotted though. It sounds like he fired off that sheriff. Gonna have to win this fight. Oh,
ओ
that's a
पड़ी
rough
पड़ी
one.
बढ़िया
And that Showers being lost over to Global
उधर से
Esports.
तीनों आ गए
He's so crafty. He's
तीन
gotten
इधर
all of those
चार
right
इधर
now
उधर
through some
पीछे
of
की
those
तरफ
walls.
खेल
He's
रहे हैं
able to take
वाइपर
advantage of free
ठीक है
fire.
लाइनअप के
Yeah, I
ऊपर
mean, now
बहुत
that he's done
बढ़िया
IGLing, you know, he's got a lot more time to think.
चलो अब गेको खत्म हुआ देखो गेको खत्म हुआ वाइपर का आया अरे भाई
Going
क्या
in for
नाइस
some of
बहुत
his
बुरा मारा है भाई
favorites.
इनको तो
That's going to be
ये
3-3
वाला
now.
राउंड
Okay.
लाइनअप्स ब्रो गोट लाइनअप्स
I wouldn't be surprised if a timeout came through, right? You just got done with that eco round. You're looking to buy up again, but the streak is now on GE side. And quite
वीरो
frankly,
गोट
that
लाइनअप्स
streak from 1 to 3, it's off of the pistol, right? And it even helps that there was a force buy from Global Esports. So I think you really want to kind of reset and say, okay, what is it that we noted once they bought up the rifles? How are they playing? Where are we making these mistakes? And it's kind of hard to tell because a lot of the quote unquote mistakes they're making are basically reactions to utility, but they don't know the exact result of it because they can't see the other side of the map.
A little bit hard to pinpoint that right now, I think, Will, because, you know, it's also the eco round and everything. So they want to get a little bit more information before going in for that. The flash now coming in. Global Esports
उड़ के
execute. Finally sees the corner and then commits the showstopper, but last goes in for the
ओहो
fabrication alive for
लोकेशन
another
भाई ये
second
बढ़िया
as
लोकेशन
he's
दिख गया
caught in a duel against him
लोकेशन
and
क्या दिख गया अल्ट
Benkai
भाई
too.
भाई
He is doing a pretty good job at keeping himself alive, though.
हो गया गलत मुड़ गया
Shot
मुड़
down
गया
by
भाई
Benkai in the back instead. Depp is still here, though.
भाई
What
रस की
about
एचपी
Russ?
देखो
He's got the operator, and he's firing some shots. Uran getting one from the back face short as well. Now it's trying to spot
रस
out
पीछे से आ रहा है रस पीछे से आ रहा है
however,
भाई पीछे से पक्का
has
मार सकता है
gone
रस
down.
थोड़ा जल्दी
Blazing's
थोड़ा
buying time for Russ. Russ is so low, but if
मार
he can
सकता है
get the
मार
double
सकता
from
है
behind,
नाइस
that'd be
नाइस आराम
huge.
से
If they just, oh, the
अरे
Viper
बहुत
pops
बढ़िया
up.
There's the first.
भाई पर
Viper's
नेट
coming
मार दी
Uran, though.
डिफ्यूज करने के लिए
Don't know how effective that's going to be given Dep's position, but Uran shows that he can hold his own. Russ
ओए
is going to
ओए
be
ओरे एंटी
but
भाई
still
एंटी
close up as Zeta picks up
एंटी
the
भाई
win.
दो अल्ट पे भाई ने वो
Credit is
किया
due. He still did
दो
get
अल्ट
the
मारी है
kill
रोकने के लिए भाई
before that
को
rocket actually gets fired off in completion. So just a trade
सेंटिनल फिर
there.
पीट गई
But of
देखा
course,
भाई
the
2-0
numbers on the side of Zeta Division. One
सेंटिनल
thing I'm
फिर पीट गई
noticing is that Laz, we saw this with
लाउड
the pistol as well.
लाउड ने
He
2-0
doesn't take
मारा
the kill right away when he's starting to get corralled around. He says, I'm just buying time until backup arrives. Depp got that kill as they were trying to all rush into
भाई देख
showstopper
ना
after
ये
that.
देख
And that
रस
gives the
मार के
numbers
मारा
advantage for Zeta
दो
Division.
अल्ट मतलब
Really
खाई
good comms and
दो अल्ट
awareness
खाई
once
क्या
the
हाँ
position
एनिमी की
is
दो अल्ट
as that lurk who's kind of
यूज
now
कर भाई
caught out in an island.
Especially on the defensive side. I mean, that's the new Zeta Division system that we're seeing. But at the same time, I love that Russ had that sense to kind of wrap up round from behind.
इधर जा रहा है
Eco is, I think,
अरे भाई
someone
पूरा
who's really
फैल गए
impressed
हैं
me.
भाई इस
I
बार
don't
तो
know if it was the Viper's Pit, and then he kind of knew that it would bait the
भाई
pushback.
बी पे जाओ प्लीज
And
भाई
he
बी
would
पे जाओ
just be in time to gun down his opponent.
भाई
But that
बी
was
पे जाओ
amazing
बी
to
पे
see
ऐसी
here.
तैसी कर दो भाई ये बार ए जा रहे हैं वैसे बी वाले
Wow, Def.
It's always risky for that second
अयो
jump
अयो
shot. I mean, you almost have
ये
to
क्या
take
हुई
it,
हो
but Depp doesn't miss
फ्लैश
those.
Not something
ग्रेनेड आया भाई
Global
ये
Esports
डैमेज देगा ग्रेनेड
anticipated whatsoever. But now
मोली
we know that
फेंकी
there's
प्लांट की
bombs
जगह पे
still
ठीक है
ringing around. Depp with the second kill. They were trying to
अरे
pin him
अरे
down, but it's not quite gonna
ए
happen. A
भाई
flash from Hiroran to set him up
अल्ट
and
मारी
pose him
ब्रिम
for
ने
even more. Hops up, picks up
खत्म
the quad. Sugar Zero with orbital strike. It's a flawless win for Zeta Division.
सीआरएक्स लाउड या
He
फनाटिक
had
ही
crazy
जीतेगी
numbers last year in Pacific
बैक
too,
पे है
right? In terms of individual stats, in terms of operator kills,
लाउड
in
ने तो मारा
total
भाई
kills,
उनको
he was topping the charts
सेंटिनल को
across the board for duelists. So great to
हाँ
see him not miss a single beat as he picks up the scope.
It's like
But
a nice reunion.
well, yeah, for sure for Deb. I mean, he's been waiting for
भाई
this
कोई
moment. He
क्लच
didn't
व्लच
get to
मारो यार
play in every event either. Took a bit of a break. But what I wanted to mention as we were going into this round is I honestly think Global Esports is playing to their composition strength a bit more. I think they're utilizing that a bit more, pressuring Zeta in terms of comp to comp. But these moments from Laz, these moments from Uran
डिस्कस होगा
actually as
देखो
well,
भाई
now
तुम बार
using
बार
the operator,
बी पे क्यों
that
जा रहे हो
starts to make the
ए भी
job a
साइट
lot
होती है
easier
ए नाम
for
की भी कोई एक
Zeta.
साइट
So
होती है
I don't mind this timeout at all. I actually like it from Global
एक
Esports. If
बस
you can
ट्राई कर लो
make this
बेशक
up to like a 5-7 and things like
बेशक
that,
वो साइट
I
ले ना
think they
पाओ ट्राई
should
कर लो
look
ट्राई करने में क्या
somewhat
जा रहा है
okay
हाँ
because
हाँ
it's gonna be tough to just break
ऐसा ही लग
through
रहा है दोनों एक दूसरे
even
से बात कर
without double controllers here on
हाँ भाई
base.
प्लीज भाई
Yeah,
एक
that's
राउंड
the
भाई
other
एक राउंड
thing too, because
ठीक है दे
Zeta
तो
only
दूंगा
have
पर
that one
जीतना मेरे को
Viper on lightning fast. I mean, not to discredit
भाई
lightning
कल का
fast,
क्या
but
हुआ
it's the composition.
Well, it's one of those
पहली
things
बात
where
तो
you
ये
set up
कल
the
तो
space
निगे
and then
लोगों
maybe
ने
you get
3 घंटे
defog
लेट
the
कराया
team when lamps. Well, then now you
तीन
have to
घंटे
utilize the poison cloud, which means you have
3 घंटा
to
चूतिया बनाया
push out with the other utility, which there's a lot of. I mean, we've seen
देखो अब
this
अब
as
आएंगे
well
अब बी पे
yesterday as
आएंगे
well with things like the flash
बोले देखो
plays
भाई
and
बी
the
नाम की
surround
भी साइट
animations.
होती है
There's a lot you can do, but
नहीं आएंगे
it
क्या
does rely on getting that first kill.
भाई ये ब्रिम यहाँ पे आ गया ब्रिम तो
Sometimes
यहीं पे
Rust
था ठीक
opens
है
it up, though.
साइफर
We'd love to
रेज
see a little bit more of that as
वाइपर
well.
और वहां
For
पे
Zeta Division, I mean, you were talking about the pressure that Global Esports was trying to create.
भाई वाइपर ए पे
And
नहीं खेल
it
रहा था
just
क्या
shows that they can definitely toy around with this
साइफर भी उधर
point
चला
now
गया
that Depp is on that op.
हाँ देख बी
Firebrand
पे
that he's holding onto this thing, and he's looking to make it work
ठीक
again.
है
Now up on top
रेज
of the
ने
truck,
देखा
doesn't see anything.
एक
Bit of a
मारा
cover from
बढ़िया
Euroron, but not
कवर
quite the
में
frag. Polvi punishes, and this could
ठीक
be
है
the
अब बी में चांसेस है ए पे रेज रुका हुआ है सारे ट्रिप्स उधर ही है लेकिन भाई ये वाइपर इनका कैड़ा खेल रहा है अरे
Lightning
नाइस
Fast sees
अब
the
बस विंडो में
opening, tries to
पता है
push through.
लोकेशन
Blaze
पता है
King as well. Here comes the toxic screen, and with the
ठीक है
positioning, Blaze King is
स्पोन
able
से
to
रेज आ रहा है स्पोन से रेज आ रहा है गेको
Like that play by
ओ
Global
मारो
Esports on
गेको
mid. He's
पीछे
well
देखो
aware that there's a
ओ
potential
मारो
backup
गेको
coming in
पीछे
with the
देखो
defender spawn, but it's a matter of timing.
गेको
Black is trying to pick
पीछे
this
देखो
back. His teammates will be planting on A. If he can just
गेको
pop
भाई
up
नहीं भाई
and get
गेको भाई
information
अरे
of
अरे
when
अरे
that
अरे
rotate goes over
अरे अभी ले नहीं
exactly,
रहा पीक ले नहीं
that
रहा
would
बच
be
गया बच
more
गया
than enough.
He's got so much util too.
कैडी
Oh, right
चीज
here.
ए
This
पे
is
प्लांट कर
Oh
दिया
my
गेको भाई ने
Seth
पूरा
got scoped in. Oh my God, Depp! What a
जीजीज
punish!
Here comes Blaze though, takes out Euron.
रन
And
भाई
with that,
स्नाइपर नहीं
Viper
कर
Spit
पाया
deployed as well.
अफसोस
Spike still taking away. Depp has a
अल्ट पे
chance,
खेल
but
रहा
it's
है
not going to be easy with nothing
रेज
going
बचा
on.
है
I mean,
मार
yeah,
ले
he
ले
still
लेने आ
has,
रहा
yeah, the showstopper's coming up soon, but this is just Mount Everest to
Oh
climb
my god,
here
look
for
at
Depp.
Lightning Fast
हूँ
though.
स्नाइपर
Yeah,
लेके
that's
अब
the
तक
thing.
घूम
He's
रहा
cleared out the
You
front
है वो
saw
देख
side.
that.
लिया अरे
Lightning Fast
अरे
stays behind.
नहीं
Depp still lands a shot. This is not over yet.
No, but that I think this is where he backs off because
ओवर भाई ओवर
yeah, it's
फट
already
गया
an
भाई वो
economic damage to
भाई
the
इस मैच
team
में
for
जाता
them to buy
डिवीजन
that
या
up,
ग्लोबल
but
स्पोर्ट
you
जीतेगी
still have the lead. Yeah, I don't mind it.
हाँ
I don't mind
बिल्कुल
him
वही
trying to
करेक्ट
go for at
प्रिडिक्शन है
least one
आपकी
more kill. If it came earlier, I
बिल्कुल करेक्ट
absolutely think Depp tries for this, which is insane. But I like that he holds off right at the last second.
Not to mention you forced that Viper Spit as well.
Yes.
You know, extra investment for Global Esports just to secure the round win. Depp definitely showing us that he's picking up right where he left off, and even with new colors as well.
पोल भी बचा था बे
The
उधर देखो
timeout, right? I love that they're kind of waiting. Is there a push out? Because here's the thing. That's what we mentioned with that single initiator on the other side.
भाई
If
मैं
you
बताओ
get the refreshes
जी में
and slow
सबसे
down
बढ़िया
the
एम
tempo and
किसका
flashes, it's going to have to be some sort of push out to get information
खुश हो गया
quicker on
लड़का
that. And I actually think G might have been ready to eventually all push into B because they haven't been targeting that site too
लो
hard
ले
here in the first half.
लो
Just chilling for the time being. They've seen
लो
early pushes from Zeta from before, so now just trying to
लो
push
ये
full.
रहा
Thrash confirms information.
लो
Euron has held Hookah before, so they're just trying to be careful and suss out some positions as well.
This is them just trying to get, if they can get one pick, if they can get confirmation that rotates coming off of A, then Benkai is on that lurk.
ए भाई अरे
Oh,
अरे अरे
but oh my
पहला शॉट
goodness,
बढ़िया था
here comes
दूसरा चौक कर गया
Euron.
विंडो
Despite
से बंदा अल्ट मार रखी है
despite the
स्काई ने
numbers
और
coming in
ये
from Global
लोकेशन पता
Esports,
लग गया
somehow with
भाई
the perfect timing on
लाइट
the
निंजा
utility, Heroon guns them down. Now Laz
दोस्त
takes
का
out
मैच
Benkai, and with that, you've
अरे
lost all
अरे अरे
your arms and legs.
लाइन अप है क्या
You know, when I first saw the compositions picked up, in theory, I was very
भाई एक
interested and I
एचपी है
actually kind of
भाई अगर
liked
ये बंदा
G2's
एक
idea,
एचपी
but
मार
the execution of it is starting to make
तो
me
जो
feel that maybe they wanted a little bit too much of the pie, right? You wanted your
लेट्स
lurk,
सी
but you still wanted the double initiator for the set play
भाई ये
start
क्या हो
and
रहा है
then
इसके
Thrash
शरीर
can
से क्या
set up
गिर रहा
Polvi to go in and entry and get that early frag. But that means you're sacrificing that
है
second
ब्लाइंडेड
pillar.
ठीक है
So
लोकेशन
the only
पता
way to creep up to the entry point, to that starting
भाई
line
दोनों तो
for
कैसे
Global
पीक लेके
Esports,
खड़े हैं
is to check at some point. One of these corners has to
डबल
show
पीक है
you
भाई
respect. And at that point, if you're not winning every single
18
duel,
सेकंड जल्दी कर भाई
it's
प्लांट
going
भी
to be
करना
rough.
It is.
I mean, this is free, right? Because it's just a quick refresh
नाइस
cooldown, so might as well use it, see if you get anything.
गया अल्ट भी गया
Doesn't quite
Oh,
find
और
much though, so
बंदा
G just trying to hold on to his rifle, but Laz
Just has to stay
is
alive.
यहीं पे
Only
बैठा
last
है।
second left.
ब्री मारा, ब्री मारा, ब्री मारा, ब्री
wow.
मारा।
Oh no way!
अरे
Just
भाई
it is a throw.
कॉम्पाटेटिव है रे,
Wow, that
कॉम्पाटेटिव
opens up
देखा
the
टिप्स
door.
एंड ट्रिक्स में।
I mean, that
मेरे को तो
he stood on so strong
ये
arms
तो
on
मैं नहीं
that
सोच
one
पाता
for
भाई।
Zero, so because he threw it all
भाई
the
ने
way
स्टीम
through.
बीकन से दरवाजा खोल दिया
No
भाई,
freaking
कैडी
way. Oh
चीज।
my god. Global Esports thought Blaze King thought he was safe.
शीश भाई,
Oh,
शीश।
Man.
that's adorable.
स्टीम बीकन से डोर
Yeah,
खोल दिया
really
भाई,
enjoying it, bringing up the energy.
रोल
And
कर
that's
दिया।
something that Zeta Division, I think a lot of people notice, is that the energy seems to be higher. They seem to be a
भाई मैं
lot
तो नहीं
more
सोच पाता भाई,
loose.
कैडी चीज कर दी
Yeah.
कितनी है जो करा था
Meanwhile,
इन्होंने।
GE, I mean, if you watch some of their comms from Convergence, they
अरे
had
ये
fun
केओ
going.
का
I mean,
चक्कू
Blaze King was that guy. So was Russ. He
दीवार
was
के ऊपर।
really riling up the entire team to keep the momentum up. And they've proven at Convergence that they will
चलो
never
वापस ए पे आ
remove
जाते
their
हैं, बी
focus.
पे
So
भी
it's
नहीं हो
not over yet.
That's why we're keeping the score close.
रहा। भाई
A
वो
little
दूसरा
whiff,
बंदा मर गया
but still
उसके चक्कर में।
continues to decimate.
भाई गए,
It's
तीन
still
तो यहीं
0-0
ठिल गए।
now, picking off a frag. Pulvi for the trade. But at this point, damage is done. Spike will go down, but look
आ
at
रहा है
this.
रेज, अभी भी लेट है, रेज
Valorant
लेट है।
trying to wrap back around. Benkai with the Neural Theft now coming in, so Zeta has to
अब
play
इन्हें तो
a
देख ली,
little bit slow.
अब क्या ही जिंदगी में।
I mean, they have to push out one way or
भाई
another.
जल्दी
They're
करो
just
यार,
waiting for it. They're always
बोले
going to
आगे
go.
सारे आगे।
You're on depth.
Pulvi got the info. Benkai on the
Has
flank.
to back up though. Double swing coming
आ
through. Still
इट्टू
brings
सा रह
zero.
गया
So
भाई,
accurate, so sharp. A tap to the
थोड़ा
head for
सर के
Heroic. And
बाजू
that
में
is the set
एम रह
point.
गया, बस हो ही गया था।
Man, you imagine just how you look at the ideas that G is trying to execute. Obviously, this one is just kind of Laz getting the first kill and just spraying down through the cyber cage. But some of these other rounds, I mean, G's idea is you see it, you see the very beginning of it, and then it just barely gets shut down, or they can't actually finish the entire execute, right? Someone like Laz stays alive, Uran stays alive,
भाई
and they're
साधक
able
2
to
एचपी
continue
का
that
आयो था,
momentum.
अल्ट
And it just
करके खुद
makes you
को
wonder,
मोडी
is
करा,
it one
फिर
of those
टीममेट
cases
से
where at
रिवाइव
the end of the
लेके
day,
सो
you
गए
still have to
थे।
get the
ये
kills?
500
Ooh, the
आईपी
Knights
It
are
is
back.
though.
क्या
Hey,
डीप्ले दिखा।
nice on MP3.
It's a much like growlier nice, you know? Laz.
You want like a nice or
Yeah.
a nice?
Yeah.
Which
He's like grown up into the next stage, right?
Whoa. All right, Dev's still here. I mean, this is what we saw from Global. They wanted to execute, and yeah, you were thinking about, do they just have to get those kills? They do, because when they peek out sometimes, it's those tiny gaps. They leave themselves a little bit
अरे
open.
मारा।
Just a blind showstopper commit doesn't quite kill Death, though.
Spike planted.
Yeah, but I mean, G at this point, whether the damage was done or not, they know that
Oh,
they're
this is
waiting
like
for a
round
retake.
one.
Yeah,
ये
they
फ्लैश
know
हुआ
they're
ही
waiting,
नहीं,
but it's a matter of can they get the kills
बंदा
because
फ्लैश
they
ही
have
नहीं
to wait. If they even just buy time here
अरे
for Zeta,
दोनों
the
पीक
site's
गए
gonna
क्या।
get taken over.
Or at least they are very aware of
चिड़िया
what
उड़,
Zeta are trying to do.
Love the fake out.
दो आ गया
Buys
उधर
him
से।
a little bit more space.
सही खोला था,
Tap sinker,
लेट।
but not quite enough because he was down too low. Russ makes quick work
क्या
there, picks up one. Blaze King with the third. And with that, just a short is
मारा
not
मारा मारा।
unless they can shoot their way out of
चलो
this one.
पता है,
Huron
अब
truly will
दो
try.
पता है कहाँ
Picks up one, but the
है। हो
timer
गया अब तो।
is
ओए
ticking. Sugar Zero tries to push forward.
फट जाएगा बम तो।
Fragment is out. Russ puts a roadblock right in front of them. And with the triple kill, Global Esports ends this first half 7-5.
Listen, it started on a 3-0.
तू खेल ले,
The way they were able to get the rounds, they did
खेल
win.
क्या।
And honestly,
अरे अभी
very close, right? 5-7 on any
पासपोर्ट नहीं
map
है मेरे
that can
पास।
flip on its head on a dime. So I think Global Esports
कोडिया
showing
कोडिया
very
जाना
well
पड़ेगा
with
मुझे।
what they're to show off. Rocky start and a couple rounds they get shut down instantly with
अभी
something
कोडिया
like
जाने के
spraying down
पैसे
through the
नहीं है।
smokes. But outside of that, once they're able to kind of
वैसे
get into
जाऊंगा
the
तो ये
zone,
हटा
the
देंगे एक
ideas
प्लेयर
they
कॉइन
had
के।
were good, right? Once they kind of fire off that first shot, once they're able to get there executed, once they are able to defend against the post plant, it's good. It was just a matter of getting there, but we'll leave that for
7-5।
now because we're switching sides.
Absolutely. I mean, still, it's just such a great way to start off this matchup, start off the day, watching the rookies coming through, watching the new additions to Global Esports showing what they've got
भाई
as
लेकिन
well. I mean, Blaze King,
ये
Russ,
आकाशी को
Lightning
देख क्या
Fast even at
नकली की
times.
तरह मरे,
It's just
बॉडी
lovely.
दिखा के दूसरा बंदा मर गया।
But here's the other thing with
स्पॉन्सर कर
now,
देता हूँ,
now
बिल्कुल
that
भाई,
we're
करो
swapping over
स्पॉन्सर।
onto attack for Zeta Division, I mean, what do you think of
क्या
their
स्पॉन्सर
composition?
करोगे।
They don't really have the double initiator. Yeah, they might be able to, toss in a lot of lineups with Brimstone and Viper, but is that going to allow them to get into site anymore?
Well, yeah, this is another thing.
Half
Because of that
time।
sky change now,
One
they
sky.
can't, yeah, they can't creep up with
Two
the guiding
birds.
lights, right? Yeah, you
That's
just
all
उनकी
you
बारी।
get.
you have to
क्या
wait
जी
for it to
कमबैक कर
execute.
पाएगी,
So
क्या
I
जी
think we'll
इनका
have to
अटैक
see
रोक
if they're gonna
पाएगी।
have to invest maybe one of the sky smokes or something like that, or you're really going to have to utilize your toxic screen. I think it really comes down to, do they
घोस्ट
pressure
भाई
that toxic screen
जी
enough
वालों
to
ने
get
सबने
those
घोस्ट
impressions
लिया
in
है
time? Because
इन्होंने
otherwise,
भी
this
सबने
could very
घोस्ट
well
लिए
turn into a Glasgow lurk and kill.
Yeah,
ठीक
well,
है सबने ही घोस्ट
okay,
लिए
that
नहीं नहीं
true,
वो
and we know
वाइपर
that
ने
he's capable of
शील्ड
it.
ले
He
ली
has
वाइपर
taken
ने
out
शील्ड
Benka
ले
a
ली
couple of times now, but apart from that, I'm just feeling the pressure on Depth's shoulders for the time being. If they can keep that relaxed look up and you know try to go a little bit ham on this attacking side, then maybe it's gonna be different.
Uh-oh. Well,
Timing off the barrier, was that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, we're gonna have to wait for that one.
चलो चलो
Slight errors, I think.
Okay, we're going through.
Okay,
Yeah,
ठीक है
just a
ठीक
bit
है
of a
there we go.
the
All right, we
barriers
fixed
there,
it.
and now they're through. So, I mean,
यहाँ पे
GE
पोलवी भाई
still
पहला
forcing
फ्रैग
them to get out
निकालते
and get
हुए
two, and they
निंजा भाई
corral them,
दूसरा
well
निकालते
aware of the
हुए
potential lurk as
दो तो
well.
ठीक गया
Shows
है
their
स्पाइक
game
गिर
plan.
गया है
Zeta maybe a little bit unprepared
ए
for
पे
that
पूरा
hit, but
कंट्रोल वापस ले
yeah,
लिया
you
है
saw that Dizzy come out. You saw it go above the poison cloud, and
नहीं
that's
तो
just
पूरा
the
खाली
combo that they wanted to go for.
अब बस गोली चलते ही एक बंदा रोटेशन देगा साइपर भग के आएंगे
They
बहुत
are
तेजी
well
में
aware that the forces could come through A short at any time. I mean, 5v3, you just have to hold your angles. Go for these peaks.
उठते हैं नु
Deep
आ गया
kill.
साइपर देखो भागा साइपर
Counting
साइपर
his
भागा
lucky stars.
और तेज
Good hit from
और
Zeta,
तेज
but a little bit of
अरे
damage
उल्टा
on
मुड़
the
गया
headshots
अरे क्या
too.
सोच रहा है
Now just trying to suss out their
उनका
position.
साइफर इधर जा रहा है
But look at the discipline
मैं
from
स्पाइक
Global
चल रहे
Esports.
साइफर सोच रहे हैं
All
जाऊं
watching
ना
the
जाऊं
off angles. Polvi gets first contact.
आ
Eight
गया
shells out. Bit of a
आए
slow burn, but here's the swing
आए
from
आए
Lightning
आए
Fast in
15
return.
एचपी
Yeah, and that's you just had to be ready for trades
हाँ
because even
केओ
though they
वर्सेस
did have it
साइफर
in
होगा
some weird
तो
universe,
पहले
it's not like they had all the post plant
क्या
lineups
लगता
ready
है
to go. It was already a
या फिर
3v5.
स्पाइक के पास
Viper's no
जाके
longer
मरेगा
available. No Molly available
क्या
for
ये क्लच
Sub-Zero
कर दो अगर
either.
क्लच कर दूं
Another
तो
Sky Smoke had
भाई
been
इस पे
used
स्किन है क्या ये
by U-Haul on
या
land.
नॉर्मल है
I mean, GE, the pistol round prep seemed
ओ
pristine.
लड़के अरे अरे भागे भागे आ रहे
To maybe get the plan. Actually, Russ is going to be pretty quick on this one, especially
गया
with Cypher.
गया बेटा
Unfortunate
गया
at the end.
बेटा
Yeah, I mean, Cypher's no Cypher's best.
भाई लाइट नहीं हाँ बढ़िया
Might as well, right? Take what you can get. A bit
बढ़िया तो क्या ही
more
बोल रहा
credits, a bit
हूँ ले
more
मरना
damage,
होता
or just, you know, mental fortitude. But still, it's a 7-6. Global picks up that pistol.
One thing we may
भाई
see
लाइट निंजा भाई सोचो 1
change
एचपी
in
क्लच
this
करके
match,
देख
because this is
तब
one of those
क्या
matches that a lot
क्या
of
ही
people
जाता
thought could very well go not only to 3 maps,
और
but
भी
very
जल्दी भाग
close
भाग के
matches
आया
across the
एक
board. But at
पहला
that
फ्रैग
point,
निकाला दूसरा
then
पीछे
you
से
start
जंगली
to look at things like
लाइट निंजा
experience, you know, how long they've had to deal with playing on stage and things like that, the pressure. And you look at Global Esports' squad, these guys have been around for a long while in various
All
tense
of the players,
situations. Yeah. I mean, even Povey, right? He's been playing in challengers out in EMEA, so
But that's the difference.
भाई
I mean,
सारे
with
लोगों
Zeta,
पे
you know,
बस
you
एक
got the
उधर
core. Meanwhile, Global Esports is like the full
अरे
team,
अरे
just
अरे अरे
all changed up around. So
एक जगह मंडली बना रहे
it does show that, you know, while some of the Xenos players lack a little
भाई
bit more
4 ए पे क्या
skill,
कर रहे
Huron and Huron, for example, Global Esports have
हो
enough
लंग पे
experience,
4 बंदे
enough
लंग पे
coordination that they can come into this match swinging.
चलो अब
I
देखते
don't
क्या
mind
होता
this so far from
है ये
Zeta,
मारा
right? They're
good
on their
रोका
timing.
थोड़ा
eco,
पुश
want to
रोका
get close for these long-range duels with the couple shares that they have. Obviously, a great snake bite from Lightning Fast, but
भाई एनिमी
they're
के
creeping
पास
up.
सबके
They're creeping up
पिस्टल है
faster than G's ready.
Oh,
ओ
Red.
पड़ा ले
not quite. Good timing on the snake bite
सारे
again,
साइड के
and it's
अंदर
just
घुस
good
के भाई
information as well. They
स्मोक
knew to
गिर
step
रहा है
back
गिर गया
in
स्मोक
towards
अरे
B,
अब
and
लगे
at this point, although the spike was down, it's safe enough for Global Esports
1
to come
एचपी
in
है
and
भाई
take
वो
this
यूरा
retake with the
पर उसका
full
एम अच्छा
might
तो
and
है
force. They're swinging
अरे
together.
जी जी
Russ with the spray down. Blaze King with a ghost kill at the end. Minimal damage sustained. Yes, Povey died, but, you know, we got 4 guns alive. That's good.
And
चलो
you love to see
अब
that from your
खेलेंगे वो
enemies.
सेव
I
किया
think it
था
was in the
उन्होंने
merge video as well, all those team intros that VCT Pacific had before kickoff began. But talking about how Polvi, he's not in it for the scoreboard, he's not in it for the kill feed, but he's in it to create space, whether it's on attack or defense.
Yeah.
He's in it to play for the team. He understands the role of an entry. Now, the question is in certain compositions, you have to be more than the entry, you have to be an entry fragger. However, so far, I'm liking the
उधर
role
बढ़िया
that
मारा
I'm seeing from Povey working alongside his teammates.
On this retake, yeah. No ego. He's like, you know, I don't care if I get kills. I create space for my team. That's all I want.
Just be that distraction. I mean, with the way that Russ is kind of
साथ
fragging
साथ
out so far, leading the board as the IGL, leading by example, and then you've got, of course, other trustworthy members like Blaze King. I don't blame Povey at all.
That's it, though. This should be a Zeta round. Polvi with the Vandal.
जीता ही कह ले
Yeah, that single Vandal, right? But then you still got
अरे पैर
Skyfire
देखा था
with
क्या
the
देखा
guns.
कि नहीं
You've got
देखा
all these trap
देखा
wires. They're trying to just
पैर दिखा
buy
था
time. on B site.
कोहली
Okay,
भी
what is
पीक
the
लेगा
game plan?
अरे
Good
भाई
flash
बस
in from
ले
Russ.
तो ले
Gets enough info, backs off.
Yeah, good discipline.
And
this,
then the TP.
I mean, that's enough to shove them back. It's a double member.
Just a
नाइस
good pickup and
रुक गया
response
थोड़ा
from
तो
Lightning
रुकी
Fast. Depp getting the opening
अरे
pick
भाई
and
साइड
gets
से
that down
पड़ेगी
so
इसको
quickly. He delayed
गया
it for just a second longer. Benkai has made it in time onto site. So this could be the linchpin for Global Esports.
They're aware of this.
भाई कायो क्या लेट हो जाएगा
Good check, but Les now getting gunned down by
Benkai
Benkai. With that, the
देखा
spike will go down, however. Benkai tries to pick up
वेंडर ली
Michael. Takes a
एचपी
little bit of
कम है
damage, but not
केओ भागे भागे
too
आ रहा है
bad. Still tough though. Russ trying to wrap back around from A short. Only has a sheriff. The spike
चलो
is
अब
down and
देखते हैं
Zeta is holding fast.
Yeah,
Look
this is
at
all
how
they need to take out potentially another weapon, though. And that's all
शावर की
GE
तरफ दो
wants from
एक
this.
इधर स्पाइक पे
It's just more damage done. They've
रात
already
में
caught
शायद
up with the pistol round win.
Okay. That fragment's got to be used at
ठीक है
some point.
तीनों
I
स्पॉट
think
हुए
they're
ना
just going to wait for kills. The fragment, save it for
आई
Whoa. Oh, okay, using it to
नाइस
clear that out.
कितना ही एंगल हो हमारे
Tap from Russ was pretty good, but still the round win over to Zeta.
I think, honestly, GE going to be quite happy with that one. Take away 3 of the weapons, right? You got the pistol, and then you went on to the anti-eco. You won that out.
भाई पिस्टल क्यों खेला लेकिन
The one vandal onto Polvi.
पिस्टल
This
कह रहा हूँ
that will be lost, but overall, everyone carrying over those specters from the previous
रस
round.
रस के
Sheriff.
पास
So
पैसे तो थे
all things considered, GE not too
गन
bad.
भी थी
Now, the
गिरी
question I had was, I mean, with that type of push and the trap wires on B, it's not like Showers was very well defended, so
ये डायरेक्ट शावर के
speed up
अंदर
from depth. But, you know, the whole kind of like funnel them into the other side.
ओ
Well, okay,
ये मारा भाई ये
not
थोड़ा बड़ी
amazingly defended. I love Lightning Fast's utility.
भाग भाई उधर दो हैं
I mean, just
शावर की तरफ से आ रहे
pushing
ठीक है
in
चलो
again. I mean, it's the depth of ult, it's the
सारे
chopping
साइड
block,
ले लिया भाई
and
पूरा
with
साइड
that,
ले
they
लिया
have
अब
claimed
देखो
the
वाइपर क्या
site.
करेगा अब नाइस
Lightning
भाई
Fast now trying to hold up around lamps.
Used to say a
Manages
lot.
to take
आ आ आ
that
आ आ
goes back in for another
गया
sweep, but then
वाइपर
shut down by Sugar Zero.
Yeah, this might have to be a save
नाइस
situation. I mean,
अब
I
एक
guess
की
it
लोकेशन
depends
प्रीम की तो
against
पता है
Global
रेंज की नहीं
because
पता शायद
now it
क्या
doesn't matter
पता
if they know of their
है
positions.
रेंज की नहीं
Try to bait out
पता हाँ
contact.
Indonesian
रेंज कह
round
रहा
flare
उसका आई थी
comes in, but
शिट
then the positions held by Zeta still good.
प्रीम की तो
Still
पता
shot
थी ना और ये
over
भाई ये तो
up
कतई नहीं
around
पता
Cubby, and then last from
इतने में तो
Showers, they
रोटेशन ही
managed
दे
to
दी
take them all.
I like the early wingman attempt too, just to draw out contact so you know where to be aiming, but there's just too many members on that A short side. And then, of course, Laz, once he knows, he heard the TP, he's waiting for them. They hear that they've come in through Showers into the site, so he wraps around on a timing. He would have been able to clean out all 3 anyway without them having a chance to turn back around.
That's like such a good point, Will, because I feel like Zeta's new system, as it is, they know to take, you know, certain positions, especially in these post plants, because if they can hold them and if they can stay alive well enough, and they, you know, they make sure that they don't expose themselves to anything, they are able to take these fights very favorably. So now they force Global onto an eco. Yes, there are some ultimates, but that's not the round that you want to use them. And Euron just
तो गया साइड का ही है
shuts
साइड
them
हो गया
down. I mean, is this
क्लियर
a
है साइड
firing range or what? 3 kills already. We
इजी
saw
ये राउंड तो
Global
शायद
doing
इजी
it
है भाई
again, and the entire
साइड
site
पूरा गया
belongs to Zeta.
I'm going to be honest, I was impressed more with Huron during the offseason than Uran. I thought Uran was still going to have to take some time to get warmed up here, VC2
साइफर
Pacific.
देखो
And obviously, you know, kills like that, it was
साइफर
a
पे
lot
गन
for
है
sure, both of them kind of peeking out at the same
मार
time.
सकता
He was
है
holding the right angle.
बस
But at the
बताओ
end of the day, I mean, he's putting up the numbers that he needs to and more for Zeta Division.
With those
एक चीज
numbers,
नोटिस कर प्रीलोड तो
something
कि
like
और
this
सैंडल
pick
कितनी ज्यादा
could be
यूज
very
हो रही
useful,
ओए
decent
निगे
utility for the next round. But apart from that,
तूने
just
लकड़ी देख
Global Esports' game
लकड़ी
plan.
कह रहा ये
Again,
देख ये
they were
चैंपियंस
out
वाली है ना
front, they were trying to just pick up whatever gun they could. But if Euron can actually hold his own when faced against situations like that, I think that says a lot.
लेकिन ये बंदे पे तो
Wasn't
स्किन भी
quite
नहीं
keeping good track
स्किन कह रहा
of the
हूँ
econ
स्किन है
either, so
पर
G obviously
वो
had pushed a bit
एनिमेशन
more
वाला
than I'd assumed the previous round, but now with that save, they're able to come up to that operator. Gonna be a huge round.
ये वाली कह रहा है ना ये जो अभी दिख रही है
And it's Polvi on the operator too. He peeks out Belong, doesn't
कलर
see
चेंज
anything.
भाई
Seekers
बेकार लग रही है
onto
मुझे
A. It's the full execute. Can Benkai stay alive?
अरे भाई
Trip save, good. Lightning fast
हवा
is
में
still
ही
here as well. The utility. It
भाई
is
इस बार
enough
पूरा
for
फुल पुश
Global
दिया इन्होंने
Esports. Benkai picks up one.
फास्ट
Now
फास्ट
just trying to put a little bit more pressure on towards Lamb.
भाई प्रील्यूड बेकार है
Forces Sugar Zero back. They can't get the spike down. They have to think about the teleporter.
Yeah, but even if they do, they don't know exactly how many people
I
rotate,
agree.
how many people are still on B.
बड़ी गया बड़ी।
Well, Huron just tries to press the
अरे
button. Oh,
भाई
Huron picks
कैसे?
up another 2 kills. And then with that tries
ये
to
तो
go for
गलत
the
मारा भाई,
peek with the
ये तो गलत
tap
मारा।
off the spike. Doesn't see anyone and calls a rotate over.
भागा स्पाइक करने
50
भाग भाई, वो रेस
seconds
देख
left
कितना
to
जल्दी
go.
जल्दी, अरे मार उड़ उड़ के
So
आ रहा है ऐसा
again,
लग रहा।
paint shells is all he needs to. Oh, he goes for the tap up top of tube.
ऊपर चढ़ा हुआ है।
Nades out. He knows Polvi is right around the corner. What are you going to do, Huron?
Plenty of time.
अपना
Continues to tap though,
अरे
and jumps up again, trying to play with timing off of this.
They know
नो
he's
स्कोप
weak.
नो
Way
स्कोप।
too risky. Yep, he is weak, and
नो
it's going to
स्कोप।
be a bit of a whisper that just takes down Huron.
Oh boy. All right.
Nice attempt.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, great tripwire coming out from Benkai. Just kind of keeps that raise locked up in the sky, almost stationary at
रिप्ले
a certain
रिप्ले
point as he
वापस
commands
रेज
back.
कोड़ते हुए
Great
दिखाओ मुझे।
swing
Thank
out
you,
from Russ.
Cypher Buffs.
Yeah, love the Cypher buffs, personally. But, I mean, that swing out from Russ. Oh, look at this viewing party as well.
ये वॉच
I mean,
पार्टी।
great to see so many fans gathered, of course. You know, apologies to all the fans as they did have to wait until this new
राउजी
day.
तू नहीं गया वॉच
They're
पार्टी
getting to
जब?
watch the smash, and so far, it is delivering.
Such a close scoreline. I mean, both teams really neck and neck. And Global, although they are catching up a little bit, you know, it's again just this is their map pick.
भाई ग्लोबल जीत
They have a
सकती
lot
है
of game plans, a
अगर
lot of
जीतना
executes,
चाहे।
and it is kind of successful. It's just that Zeta right now, with their rookies, are performing a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and look at things much more step by step to see how many of these kills are actually like high impact kills that Zeta made on their very own volition, or how much of it was simply, you know, a decent read on the defaults and things like that. But everything being told, Zeta, okay, the firepower definitely upgraded, their pacing and their comms seem to be upgraded. Meanwhile, on GE, the benefits that I saw from this roster during offseason at Convergence are still delivering. The ideas are good, the setups are good, but it's can you get up to that starting line? When they do, they are winning quite cleanly. But if they can't get into something like the execute or something like a healthy retake, that's when things look like they're trying to just
जेटा मैं
equal things out, buy a
वीवर
little more
पैंथम
space.
खरीदूंगा।
Zeta's not backing down from those firefights.
Oh, Zeta does not. This new
मैं
Zeta
तो
does
खरीद
not.
लेते हुआ
Full
पैसा
odds
है,
on the side of
मेरे
GE.
को भी दे दियो।
Yeah, that's something they could definitely
जेटा
use.
जीतेगी ये मैच।
I mean, this is one of those rounds I think you
जीतेगी तो जेटा, पर मैं चाहता हूँ जी
want to
जीते।
catch up. It's not about trading ults one way or another.
ना वैसे जी जीतनी चाहिए यार, क्यों भाई जेटा की जिता रहा है भाई,
Good
प्लीज
ults
भाई
to
जी
get rid
ना भाई।
of that operator on the other side as well.
भाई वो रस अच्छा खेल रहे थे, क्या बोलता है, रस अच्छा नहीं
Into
खेल
the
रहा।
site, something like
आप
that.
शील्ड खरीद रखी है, रस नहीं लगी।
At the very least, oh, what is this? Polvi is pushing
हाँ,
far overextended just
हाफ शील्ड थी
barely.
पोली पे भी, पोली भाई भी ठीक।
I mean, the push out is hard to read at that tempo from Polvi with an operator.
चलो अभी तक रुके
But I
हुए हैं
think
वाइपर
the
और वो
mistake here
साइपर।
is Zeta, if anything, Zeta was actually prepared for more people to be pushing out. You saw that it wasn't just Huron waiting to check for that.
दो
It
वर्ल्ड
was
खुली।
multiple people, and there wasn't the backup from GE.
And that's the protocols from Zeta now.
Oh, you can't
They
pick
know
that
to
back
hold
up
it
now.
safe, they know to watch, but
Oh.
still true.
रोका रोका रोका।
Able to reposition just in time to get the shot, but then not expecting depth to show up from Hookah. They have the sight. Still watching out for more players though. He tosses out
नहीं मरेगा
just
मत
in
जा।
case.
And look at
Sky
Uran.
smoke blocks off Benkai.
On the minimap, Uran is coming all the way back around as well. I mean, Zeta just has to stay out. There is no way Benkai is ready for this.
No, sir.
चलो आगे पीछे दोनों जगह से
Find that
बनते
opening. He's trying to wait for lightning fast, but it's
हैं,
not gonna happen.
लेकिन
Oh my god,
एंगल
from
नहीं है।
Uran. It's just depth in his movement.
ओए!
Mechanics, one clean tap, and then lightning fast to spray through with the Phantom.
भाई वाइपर अकेला ही काफी है।
Probably gonna opt for the save at this point.
मतलब
Way
उनका
too much of a tall task ahead of him.
The
सेविंग।
hold from Uran is great because if you think that they might have somehow regrouped in defender's spawn, I don't know if they had all the right ideas. That lightning fast was still over by Hookah, but then you just wait for the exits, right? Because you've already spent enough time. So I like the comms, but man, that push out from Polvi, I don't mind it as an individual move,
चलो
but
भाई 2 राउंड
because
हो
Zeta
रहे
was
थे।
ready for it, it starts to look a little sloppy just because the backup wasn't there for trade. It wasn't a hard commit, and that's the thing. You had all ults, so obviously it's not a round where you would want to hard commit because you've got all the retake tools.
Yeah, and it's also one of those
Sniper.
things where it's off of a
रहेगा।
Zeta timeout, so maybe they were anticipating for Zeta to do something a little
हाँ
bit
हाँ,
different,
ये
and
वन
they
टैप
wanted
मारा
just to
था।
check, but face check is a little bit too risky.
I mean, it's always going to be
आ
risky.
जाओ
Here's the thing: if
ट्रिप
you're,
फायर
if you're
सीखते
peeking
हैं
out, it's always going to be risky. But what I want
एक
to say is
इधर
the
ठीक है
idea is good, right? It's an off timing. You got the
ओह
0 point
और
on
एक
hookah. You got multiple
इधर
pillars.
ओ
I don't
ऐसे करना
mind
होता है
it. It's just that, right? It's an operator.
Right.
It's not a jet. Sure, Raze can escape, but it takes a little bit more time. And because Zeta was ready, I'm saying it starts to look a little bit wonky. So that's credit to Zeta. But honestly, the idea, you had to throw something
चलो
out there
देख
to
लिया दो
shake
बंदे
things up.
कायो अब रोटेट
It's
कर रहा है
true. Meanwhile, I mean, again, Zeta, Carlisle and Junior,
अब 3 पे हो
they're
गए
doing a lot for this
साइफर
team.
आगे जा रहा है सारे
Trying to
पीछे
poke
हट
out a
गए
lot this time towards Hookah. I mean,
सारे बी जाएंगे
towards Showers, but not
धक
quite
धक
finding
धक
all
धक
too much. So regroup with Laz, and then maybe just the execute
भाई
off the
कितना
Hookah
मोटा
position.
ड्रैगन है भाई उसके पास कौन सी गन है
By the way, they know they put
जज है
Showers down.
बोले
The thing
कितना
is
मोटा
Just
ड्रैगन
jiggling for info.
yeah, and
भाई
they're
मत ले
buying
पीक
a decent amount of time here with the
भाई
get-go. But how ready are they going to be? Trailblazers are traded for that.
चलो
Dizzy and a wingman still available for
अभी
time.
भी रुके
Russ
हुए हैं
is
भाई
arriving.
दो
No
उधर
command at the ready.
Rotates are over.
ये
Nice
नाइस
shot from Blaze King. What an angle. But you still have Lash kind of looking for the
हाँ
short
दिखे
term
होंगे 3
teleporter
टीपी
play
मार के
is
सारे
available, and it does go through.
भग
However,
रहे हैं भग
here's
रहे
the
हैं
gamble. If Benkai can hold his
ओ
ground,
10
this is going to be tough for Zeta. They've got
He
20
will.
seconds left.
I mean, Laz didn't actually have control of the site.
अब
They
भगना
have to
पड़ेगा
push through and
ठीक है
fight. And now
टाइम
when their
खत्म
smoke's
टाइम
down,
नहीं
the
है
mollies are coming out. They have no way to
Oh,
come
the
out.
Dizzy.
And the
ब्लाइंड
Dizzy as
हुआ
well.
Oh, 10 seconds. It's not going to happen,
हेल
is it?
फायर आया
First strike, though, still committed.
मरा
Looking to push through. Sugar Zero getting
प्लांट कर
ready.
रहा है
Getting the second one
सब
in.
घुस चुके हैं
Not sticking the
रेज
proc.
लेट है
That too
इजी
close
विन
for
है
Colby. Just
गेको
got the
ऊपर
showstopper, though. But
ऊपर
here's
कोने
the
में
thing
है
with
रेज
Seekers.
इधर आया
Look,
साइड
we know
से
where you are,
रेज के
Colby.
पास
We
हट
know
गया
where
लोकेशन
you
रिवील हो
are.
गई है
Are you going to
बोट
commit?
आया
He's got the judge.
They heard the classic too, so they know something's up.
Oh boy, here it comes. Opens up.
गया और ये
And
ओ
tries to go for even more, but Huron, what the heck is
खत्म
that movement? The timing on the peaks, and then
वो
Sugar
जल्दी
Zero
जल्दी हुआ भाई
pulled from Showers.
हाँ
This is Zeta Division.
I almost would have thought that the orbital strike felt late at that point, but they wait. They wait for all the utility to come out. And guess what? I want to point to this round. These are the rounds that make a difference between a team looking too slow to lose and a team just looking like they know their exact timings, right?
शुगर
You wait for the rotate, and then you say that you're going to draw out all this utility, and then when it ends, you still have your ultimate, and you know that you can force it through, because that ult
भाई
can
तो
kind
मेरी
of
तरफ
act
रिम
like a
खेलता है
wall that's going to
इतना
protect
प्रो
you
हूं मैं
on that spike plant.
That is
चलो भाई एक
true.
पॉइंट
I
चाहिए
mean,
बल्कि एक राउंड चाहिए
I think GE probably feels a little shaken up after that previous round.
They
जी बोल रहा है
probably weren't expecting this Zeta form.
एनर्जी ड्रिंक ले ले
And honestly, I'm not as well.
भाई
That got
कटिंग कैडी
really,
कटिंग करा रखी है
really
या कुछ है इसको कुछ बीमारी
shaky to me. I mean, towards the
बीमारी
end of that, you can feel the pressure running out of time, but still,
इतनी कैडी कटिंग
knowing exactly what their game plan was, sticking to it, and making it work.
भाई ने बोला क्लीन
So I don't
साइड
know
कट
what
कर दो
Global
क्लीन
Esports
साइड
can
कट
pull off with this timeout. They need 4 more rounds to tie
हंस
things
रहा है
up.
मोटे
And
कैमरा देख के
I mean, just thinking about them playing on the defense, you know, with a composition like this, double initiator, clearly retakes were meant to be strong, but it's not quite happening just yet.
ये कौम आ गया
Well, the timeout to try to save this map, take it to overtime. The null command still sitting there for a couple of rounds now, and surely something that they have discussed. But right now, it's going to be a push out. It's been a couple of rounds since they've done
ये
this.
देख
It's all in from
पॉइजन
GE.
मारेगा
Just, okay, full commit. They did
आए
get the first
अरे
one.
भाई पहला
Works
शॉट
for
बढ़िया था
time
अरे दो
being.
गए बढ़िया
Oh, but the
दो
trace
दो का
just as
निकला
good from Zeta.
एक
Russ
गया
still deep in position, able to
3v2
shut
चलो
down the player from the left. Tosses out
भाई ये तो
flash to
जीत
try to
सकते
save
हो
it,
भाई
and
भाई
rotates
रुक
goes
जाओ
through,
भाई
but it's
मत
not
लो
in
पी करे
time.
मत लो
Benkai all the way from the back of Halls. Now
चलो
back site.
This is
गेको
all
आ रहा है
Zeta.
गेको आ रहा है
So this was the
गेको
entire
गेको
idea,
तू
and
कर सकता है
Zeta is aware of this,
मुझे
right? They know
विश्वास
they
है
spent way too much time
गेको
setting
अंदर है
up
अंदर गेको
in a
गेको
short.
मारो गेको
Oh,
अरे
gets
नाइस
one.
एक ही
Now
बचा
he knows that they were potentially looking for the rotate. He just has to hold.
Oh no!
1v1 हो गया भाई
But then got swung upon by Sugar
Bankai
Zero.
Look at how close Benkai is. I don't know if Sugar
नहीं
Zero
नहीं
would have
नहीं
heard
नहीं
him.
The timings though. And he's just one step
बच
closer
गया
with
बच गया
Benkai,
बच
a
गया
little bit more prepared, a little bit better.
भाई ये तो राउंड पूरा
Keeps Global Esports alive for
इक्वलाइजर
one
खेल
more
रहे
round.
थे
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Benkai just creeping up right close enough that it's so hard to tell. And that's good timings, right, on the flanks one way or another, ping-ponging back and forth coming out from GE.
सेकंड शॉट रह गया
Disrupt
भाई, पहला
comes
शॉट तो
down
क्या
to
बढ़िया था।
all these micro timings. I mean, it was an all-out brawl to start. You can feel the tension and the pressure. The fans wanting to watch Global Esports win. And with Blaze King holding up from Market, it actually happened. Now back into the next round though, and Zeta tries to pick up the pace.
अरे आ गया है
A
भाई,
little bit more control in the showers, but
इस बार तो कह
contested
रहे भाई हम आ गया
Global
के मारे।
Esports as well. The
हाँ
power
हाँ,
play.
दो गए बढ़िया,
GE with the double kill.
Spike down. A
दो बाकी
great
इधर ही
read
हैं।
from
टीपी
GE.
की आवाज आई, टीपी
A lot of
रोक
people
रखा
said
है।
they're absolutely going to
दो
have to break
पॉइजन
two
मारे
sets
कोने
to
में
do something.
है,
And
बच
this is one
गया
of those
थोड़ा सा।
rounds. The Molly's in
मोली भी फेंक दी
there.
भाई, बहुत बुरी
Splash
बहुत मारा है
lightning
इसको।
out of position, but the main thing still is that the spike is down. You don't have showers control, but I'm a little bit curious to see what Laz's game plan is.
But looking at where those tripwires are on the minimap, I
ले
think there's a way
रिवील
for
किया
them to be
लोकेशन,
able to.
अब तो
Well,
भाई
now
मार
they're
लेना।
spotted as well.
अरे मार लेना, मर नहीं
Okay,
जाना भाई।
I guess
ये
mechanics
गया
position is
गेको,
good. Orbital flush him out of corner. Sugar Zero picks up the
1v1।
quad, and what it comes down to is a Laz and Benkai one-on-one.
And Laz wanted to find a timing. He eats his own teammate's orbital strike to try to come
हैं
through.
हाय बैंगन,
Benkai is just playing this so safe.
Is he gonna wrap all the way around? Because that
No
would be one
way.
way to play this
कुछ
round.
कहाँ जा रहे हैं?
That would be so big brain. Benkai?
30 seconds left.
Benkai?
Laz is ready for this. How is he ready for this?
It just comes down to it. Whoever fires that trigger first, whoever spots
अरे
the
साइफर,
spike,
साइफर के
they
पीछे
know
साइफर, साइफर के आगे
what
साइफर,
each
बताओ
other is
कितने
thinking.
साइफर? 14 सेकंड भाई, इसको
Still
प्लांट तो
doing
करना ही
this.
पड़ेगा।
The plan.
और ये
Pressure
भाग
is
के
on
जाएगा,
Laz.
वो
10
भाग के जाएगा
seconds
बांका है।
and the timer is
क्या
counting
भाग के
down.
जाएगा? नहीं, अब तो बहुत
5,
टाइम है, आराम से
4, 3, and
गया।
here comes Benkai with a
हाँ,
swing, a tap to the head, a swift kill, and
टाइम नहीं था
takes
बंदे के पास
Global
सामने वाले साइफर
Esports
पे।
2 rounds away from overtime.
या
The
तो प्लांट करता है
craziest
या तो
part
मार लेता,
is
पर
Laz
लोकेशन देगा
suspected
नहीं
it,
वो,
but
जब
Benkai
तक
went
प्लांट
so
दबाएगा नहीं वो।
long. He creeps the entire time, so Laz says, I have to plant at some point. So Laz did have a read, but what a 1v1. Benkai back in his own natural habitat.
Look at him too. Oh my god.
कितनी खुशी।
It's nice to see Benedict
टाइम आउट हो
back
गया
in
भाई, बोल रहे
action
भाई एक
now.
ही राउंड तो है,
Being called by
ठंडा लो।
Zeta Division.
जेटा को
How
बोल
do
रहे हैं,
we right the ship? How do we secure
देख जेटा
the
वालों ने टाइम आउट
last
लिया।
round?
एक ही राउंड है भाई,
Well, you had a
ठंडा लो
couple
भाई,
rounds,
इजी
right, where
गेम
this
है
push
भाई,
comes out from GE, so
इतना क्लोज लाओगे?
you gotta imagine that Zeta, their first instinct is to say, okay, slow things down, see if they push out, right? We hold the default, get ready for contact. The problem being, now that may funnel them back
अरे
in.
मैं तो कह रहा
You
हूँ
have
भाई,
engines running,
डायरेक्ट
spending
पुश
the first
मारते
20
हैं,
seconds to not
एक
take
ही
any
राउंड तो
position,
जीतना है, और
then
बोल
you're
रहा
gonna have to
ठीक है
start to
भाई।
creep up. And because Laz is a Cypher, it's not like he can really just dig all the way into a site and clear it out all on his own, especially when there's a Cypher on the other side. You never know where those trips are gonna be, and it's Benkai playing it as well. So, I mean, sure, they had that one rotate with their orbital
जेड़ा
strike and it
वक्त
worked out, but I don't remember the exact
तुम
ult
सुख
situation.
मांगो।
The orbital strike was just used, so they're not gonna have that for a last-minute execute.
Not to mention economy as well. And you're always thinking, you know, you only have Euron to help you initiate. So with this bit of a half buy, you really just got to scrounge up or get as much info as you can for that last round.
And look at GE, another shift in position. This time it's B main, and that also denies that ult door for the potential showstopper from Deb.
Well, I wouldn't mind if Zeta plays a little bit more cautiously. But
देखिए
still,
सारे जा रहे हैं भाई एक साइड से, फुल
okay,
पुश में बोला था, फुल
does
पुश
give off
जाएगा
a bit of
डायरेक्ट,
info, so they are just
घुसो सारे।
rushing straight through hookah. Russ is ready to
ओए
receive.
ब्लाइंड मारा,
Keeps
अल्ट
open
मारा,
movement and just wants to stay alive.
ओ गया,
Step right up,
नाइस,
dive from tube, and
शीश,
then the kill from Euron. This is the site
हो गया भाई, हो गया,
already. The
दो ही बचे,
retakes
हो
at
गया
this
राउंड।
point are too slow, too
चलो भाई,
late,
ये
and
तो
not
जीत
happening
गए।
on time. Viper's
एक
finishing
और
off
अल्ट,
the
देखो और
opening.
अल्ट,
Dep with the
अल्ट ही
showstopper.
अल्ट।
Benkai just trying to do what he can. But at
भाई
this
और बचा है
point,
किसी
oh
के
my
पास कुछ
god,
और तो मार
Villains,
दो।
it feels bad.
हो गया
This
भाई,
is, again, one
खत्म
of
है।
those situations where GE just wanted to check a little too much. You had entire B main control, and you wanted to check in front
दो
of
की
Showers
वॉचिंग
as
आ
well.
गई, ओरे भाई,
Benkai's still gonna try though.
कहीं वो दूसरा
Timer is
आदमी मैं ही
ticking.
तो नहीं?
HP is slowly
चलो भाई, जी
draining
जी।
and running away. And then just
ये
one
लास्ट में जो
bullet
टाइम
is
आउट हुआ था
all
ना,
it
उसमें मैं
takes.
बोल रहा हूँ यही हुआ था।
Good
जेटा वालों को बोला
ideas
भाई
from
एक ही
Global
राउंड तो जीतना है,
Esports,
घुस
but
जाओ
in
सारे
the
साथ में।
end, Zeta Division still. And
वो तो
Deb
दो साइड तो
is
होल्ड
in
करनी
the
पड़ेगी उनको, डायरेक्ट
middle of the
घुसो,
round and coming.
या तो पूरा राउंड आ ही
I
जाएगा।
mean, Deb, he's playing just as well as he always has. And some people might have forgotten. A lot of people seem to go back into their memory bank during the offseason and remember that he was fragging out in 2023. So it's great to see upgrades across the board for Zeta Division. I will say, GE, I mean, I think they showed enough for people to at least stop doubting them. But it's also that Zeta looked just as strong, if not better, upgraded. And now going over to Zeta's pick on Icebox next, another map where you're going to have some good ideas on how to utilize it, because it's very tough to utilize all parts of it, especially mid, even with the map changes. So the question becomes, GE, did they even suspect that the Icebox would be picked?
Oh my goodness, that is another question. And then Sunset for a decider even. I mean, if G is not prepared for Icebox, and this, you know, it's just going to be a 2-0. And it feels
कोच चाचा बिल्कुल
very similar to yesterday's Gen G and RRQ match. But here goes, back to the
अरे भाई मैं उनके मन की बात बता रहा था कि देख
Oh my god! How spicy is specific?
भाई आयरन कैसे बोल रहा है ब्रोंज बोल
Insane. And
इज्जत
you know
से
what? I really like how that was being played. Obviously, Zeta bagged that first map win, but
अरे वो
not
पता है
for
लास्ट में
nothing
वो
and a little
प्रोफेशनल
bit
की
of
तरह खेल
something to
रहे थे
say.
ना
A
वो
Cypher,
सोच
what
रहे
was a
थे
good
कि भाई
Cypher meme
देखो
of them pointing at each other with Laz?
हम
The Cypher Cypher
खेलेंगे
comment.
आराम आराम
They
से
kept
प्रो की
clashing. They were
तरह
always
वन
playing
टैप
around the same
मारेंगे
spot. We saw, you know, on the
लास्ट
defending
में
side
बोला
there
है
from
कि
Zeta,
राउंड
Laz trying to hold
चाहिए
all the showers, Benkai trying
ज्यादा
to push in,
प्रोगिरी
trying to
मत
get control
दिखाओ
of those showers.
घुसो
So there's a constant back and forth there, and some nice clutches from Benkai at the end to keep Global in this one. But Zeta
अब
managing to
साइड
start off
खाली
with
तो
a
छोड़ नहीं
lead is a
सकते थे
little bit
जी वाले
concerning because this was, again, Global's map pick. They decided to go for this.
एक
Given that
साइड
it
पे
was a
मिनिमम दो
fairly weak
बंदे तो
round to
रहेंगे
pass for Zeta Division, but clearly work has been done. Carl Out Jr., they have been working with this team to improve this map that has been a bit of a bane for them in the past, but it still didn't have to be this damn difficult, Zeta.
भाई
They
वो
did
तो
get the pistol round
एम नहीं
first
है
time, and somehow, while defending, they still
भाई
allowed the
आयरन कैसे
7-5
बोल
half
रहा
to come through. Global
है
being
एम
able to
नहीं
get
है
those
मेरा
5 rounds was a godsend for
बाकी
them, and
तो
I thought
प्रो
that
तो
might
हूँ ही
have
मैं
ended up being their undoing here for Zeta. And Global, they did have a nice rally back. They get up to 10, but I thought that that was going to be their win condition, being able to get those 5 rounds initially.
Yeah,
भाई
it
तू
all
नहीं
does
गया है
depend.
तू
Quickly,
आयरन की
Global is
वैल्यू है
just
भाई
able
तेरे
to
को तो
adapt.
प्लास्टिक रेंज
At the
देनी
first couple
चाहिए
of rounds during the first half, they were struggling in
आ जाओ
just
भाई
trying to
एमवीपी
get
देखो
good
दोनों
control
टीम
in
के
terms of the rounds. But
रेज
after a
रेज
few more, they
ऑब्वियसली
start to get their groove on, and it really translated into
भाई
showcasing
लेकिन वो
what
है
Global
यार ये
can do as that
जेटा
team
का जो
right here
वाइपर है
for
ना वो
Global
मेरे को
Esports,
बढ़िया है
and that's why we're
खेलते हुए
seeing
दिख
them
रहा है
be so close to Zeta in that 13 to 10 end.
And we can see right here, MVPs. We got the
वाइपर
gods
कितना
facing
बढ़िया
off
खेला
just as we were hoping for. And Depth is just so amazing, isn't he, Achilleos?
Yeah, and I think this
यूरान
is a known quantity. For me, honestly, obviously the ACS not going to reflect it fully, but Yoran was a huge factor in them being able to get those initial
ये देख
kills
बोला
in the
देख
sky with
कमेंटेटर ने
some
यूरान इज
ever so
ह्यूज
clutch and
फैक्टर
great moments there with the Sheriff as well from Yoran. So honestly, fantastic
मैं
V-Stars
हल्के में ले रहा
opportunity for
खेलते
him.
हैं
But Depth just continuing to frag out of control.
Now, what has been really interesting, we were talking about this
भाई
in the
कमेंटेटर भी
break
बोल
room
रहा है
just now. Zeta
यूरान
are
इज
infamous
ह्यूज
for
फैक्टर
being so slow, but we saw a different sort of pacing. You were talking about possibly
एनालिस्ट
going into the
बोलते
coaching staff, changing things up for Zeta.
Yeah, I mean, for Carlisle, when you come over from a Brazilian squad, one thing that you can certainly inject into your new team is going to be some aggression, some higher tempo. And while we did see, Zeta slowing things down, especially in that last round, not the last round, but in the last few rounds where they were really taking their time, going for that pushing onto the site with like 8 seconds remaining. But we were seeing a bit more ebb and flow for them. We saw that they were willing to up the aggression from time to time. And I love to see this because they were that team that just waited for 20 seconds, take the site, and then they went and tried to execute. And more often than not, especially in the LCQ, they were getting away with it, but that is not a
अयो
style of play that is going to be sustainable.
Yeah. Also, one thing I just wanted to add with how Zeta has been actually playing here is more times
यहाँ
than
पे
not,
कैडा
when
सीन हुआ
they
था
kind of look around how their rotation and
ये
their
लास्ट
rotation
में
has
जो
been
घुसे
made,
हैं
it's
अल्ट
a
पे
lot
अल्ट
shorter
खुद
now.
ही
So
है
you're seeing Laz looking behind
अल्ट
where
ही अल्ट
Shiftwire
अल्ट ही
are.
अल्ट
He's able to time the lurks coming in from the players of Global Esports more times than them just being kind of slow to think about that or slow to rotate, which has been very helpful in the rounds that they've played.
Now, you were noting, Asteray, how Global Esports is probably going to be a bit more free-flowing with the way the team dynamic is, and it definitely seems so, but is it working?
I think it is. The big problem was, and we mentioned this literally just a couple of minutes ago, is the Benkai versus Laz. They need some extra options that they can choose to go elsewhere on the map, but because Benkai has been losing in that fight, they cannot force the issue elsewhere. So they have to commit to this fight. The problem is the setup for Zeta, whether it's on defense or attacking, has been a little bit difficult. What at least has been good for
Global here, coming back to them, has been
हेल
always
रेंजर
the
इनका
ability
कोच है
to
क्या हेल
create
रेंजर?
those openings, but his teammates just can't follow the speed that he is going at it. So it creates this kind of rift where he's already there, he's creating plays, but the rest of Global are still somewhat lagging behind.
What do you make of that, Kilios?
I mean, I widely do agree. We saw just some. It's hard to say whether or not they're fantastic reads from Zeta's side or just poor decision making from the side of Global. But you know, with that ebb and flow from Zeta, like one of the rounds that we saw was they slowed things way down after playing aggressively, and then Polvi goes on an aggressive push out of B long, ends up getting caught, and that's going to be the operator down as well as your star duelist player taken out of the fight very early. So a couple of these moments here where they're deciding to go aggressive, take some space where they have no information as far as player placement on the side of Zeta is concerned. That's something that they need to be accountable for. So they need to make sure that they know that they're pushing into somewhere a little bit
चलो भाई
safer. And if they don't know that it's safer,
चलो
they need to be a
भाई
little bit faster on those reactions.
Now the second map is going to be Icebox, and this is Zeta
Icebox
Division's pick, which is curious.
अच्छा ये बाइंड किसका था? बाइंड जी का पिक था।
Since Zeta's played on Icebox.
It has been. Granted, Icebox out of the rotation does account for a large portion of this, but we haven't seen them play this map since their grand final versus Northampton.
जी अपना मैप हार गई क्या?
Northampton bested Zeta Division to then go on to Masters Copenhagen in 2022.
भाई आइसबॉक्स बड़ा वो है यार, बड़ा फास्ट है,
So we have not seen this team
बहुत तेज
in
लगता है
a
मेरे को
very long
आइसबॉक्स।
time playing this map. It is
कहीं
not
से भी उड़ के आ
certainly one
जाते
that
हैं
they
आइसबॉक्स में इतनी
tend to
खुली
push
जगह
on
है साइड की तरफ
historically
से,
at all. So the fact that
डिफेंडर
they are
टू
willing
अटैकर
to go
साइड,
onto this map
अटैकर
after the
डिफेंडर
recent
साइड, बहुत
changes
ओपन जगह,
should allude to
कहीं
them
से सीधा
having put
उड़
some.
के आ जाएंगे, मार के चले
This
जाएंगे।
can be cooking harder.
My
मैं पिक
concern
बताता
with
हूँ,
this one is because of the changes on
किलजॉय,
Icebox, and you kind of see this a lot with
स्काई,
before. The only play that you could do
जेट,
maybe before the changes was the rush underneath Orange and then
सेज,
just kind of see where that takes you. But because there's a window now
ओमन,
going into kitchen, there's a
सेज,
lot of
ओमन, किलजॉय,
changes on the Orange box
सेज,
as well.
ओमन,
1v1 Avenue now
किलजॉय,
focusing more on the split.
जेट,
There's a lot more I think that you could try to do there, and I think that's where
सेज,
Zeta
ओमन,
is
सेज हो गया,
hoping that
ओमन
they
हो
can
गया, किलजॉय हो
outpace
गया, जेट हो
Global
गया।
here. That seems like what
एक पिक
Global was
क्या है?
doing on Bind in some of the rounds that they were successful on
बताओ भाई
was
ये कैसा
getting
लाइनअप बनाया हुआ है?
those quick contacts on the
सेज,
smaller
ओमन,
corridors. And
किलजॉय,
since
जेट,
Icebox, even though it's a two-sided map, it's still
किलजॉय,
pretty open with,
सेज,
again,
ओमन,
these new
किलजॉय,
changes.
जेट, एक
Something
रहेगा।
that, again, Zeta could use, but again, this is just me
सेज,
guessing
ओमन,
what could
किलजॉय,
happen.
जेट।
This map actually falls into Zeta's older play style really well now thinking about it, because this is one of those maps where a lot of times you do see
सेज का फायदा है,
poking and prodding and
सेज की जगह
depending
स्काई,
on which site you want to go to. So for
स्काई,
Zeta,
ओमन,
who
किलजॉय।
love to do that, they absolutely could just poke and
सेज
prod
रिवाइव
around
तो देखा
green,
है ना,
maybe even inch up towards yellow. Oh, I'm getting racy here with that one. Maybe
स्काई और सेज के
that's a
बीच
bit
में
too much for
ओमन,
them going
किलजॉय,
that deep
जेट,
into a
ये
site.
तीन
But
पिक,
you know, you can kind of
ओमन,
make
किलजॉय,
it appear
जेट,
yourself over on this side of the map and then opt to go to the other one if you don't like what you
ओमन,
see or what you
किलजॉय,
don't
जेट,
see on that side. So I'm
ओमन,
curious if
किलजॉय,
that's going to
जेट।
be the case. We did see the fan sign there saying rush B. That is
नहीं भाई,
exactly their MO.
किलजॉय, जेट
As
तो
we
है,
take a look at
ओमन
it, it's going to be
ठीक
the
है।
harbor coming through.
Ooh, I like this.
किलजॉय,
Harbor,
जेट
I
तो
think,
था,
is
मैं किलजॉय तो
so
पता था,
underrated. I think
किलजॉय
I've
तो
said
आएगा,
this way back,
किलजॉय, जेट।
maybe in VCT Philippines,
ओमन
that
सोचा था
it
मैं
does
आएगा,
the
ओमन
job
नहीं।
of both Viper and the Sage because of the Cove. It gives you a little bit of that safety, even though there are the changes that happen on the B side, even before this
भाई
current
हार्बर
change,
और वाइपर
you still have to have
बेटा का,
some form of safety when you plant that spike. And if you don't have a Gecko,
प्लस
you need
अपना
something
मेन
to
खेलते
keep that
हुए
planter
KO।
safe, and the Cove is one of those abilities that just does that.
Still sticking in with the KO here for Global. It seems like they're really going to be relying on this one, so I'm curious to see if Russ is going to be able to pilot it to more success here on Icebox.
All right, let's go into the Arctic Icebox. We're going to over Casters, Quack, and William. Who's it gonna be?
Thank you very much, Chubby Ninja, Asterai, and Achilles. I have no idea who it's going to be. It does feel a little bit
जेट
cheeky,
ए
though,
पे,
because Zeta is looking
जेट ए पे,
cold
जेट ए पे,
today.
नहीं
But yeah,
जेट ए पे नहीं
I'm
जा रहा।
wondering about that KO.
Yeah, GE seems to really want to focus on the double initiators. I know we're just 2 maps in, but I get it. It does seem to suit what they want to do, right? Get the info, then go for the call, then have these
चलो
set
भाई,
plays.
जी
That's
इस
a
बार
nice
अटैकिंग
idea,
करेगा।
but if everyone else is still going for
भाई
double
कहाँ
controls
खड़ा
on
है
some of
जट्टा
these
वाला
maps,
बंदा, देख
especially a map like Icebox, curious how this attack's going to be.
जट दा
Because at the end
मुकाबला,
of the day,
अरे
Quack
बच
needs
गया।
to get those frags.
And on the other hand, for Zeta, too, I mean,
पानी
this
खोल दिस,
composition is just
पानी की
what
टंकी भर
Teros
गई है,
did before in the past.
किलजॉय के
So,
ट्रैप्स होंगे।
going in on the defense now, already committing the high
कैप कितना
tide
खाली
moves
छोड़
off,
रखा है।
kind of pushes Global Esports into A, where, well, Laz is kind of hiding in
चलो भाई,
wait, but
अरे
the
अरे अरे
corner is up and ready. Russ is kind of
ये
tagged up by the decay of the toxic screen. But wow, we're just setting up for retakes. We're trying to
चलो
use the lineup, but it doesn't quite connect.
Yeah, very
बैक से
fast
आते
lineup.
हुए
Now they
बंदे
were spotted. GE knows they have to push out, and Povi's gonna open things up.
Okay, Povi's always good for some shots. Gets the first one, now wraps back around screens. He wants to hold this position. Because if he does,
पीछे से
then
बंदे आ
pulls it up for
गए
just another second.
आगे से
Last though
किल
up
जो है
around the rafter side. He goes
वो
back
अभी भी उधर ही
forward and
खड़ा
picks off Russ. And
Oh,
here
what?
comes Step from the top now. Sugar
हैं?
Zero landing some shots. A bit of a distraction that
आए
allows for the rest of Zeta to corral
चलो
and push
मरा
up into the
मरा
site.
हो गया
Blaze
डीपीयू
King able to get one, but not for long.
हे
As Laz takes
प्रेमानंद
him
ये
out.
क्या हुई
Zeta with the pistol.
I mean, that hop over from Depp is
रीटेक
one
कर ली
thing, but
इन्होंने तो
something else you're noticing here on that retake. So Zeta commits to the retake early on. Obviously, the back out of A site. Once the flank is up, then Laz suddenly says, you know what, we don't want to push in from Rasters just yet because they're going to consider pushing out, especially
भाई
once Povi gets the first
इस
kill.
बॉक्स में
So
जेट का
he's
कुछ
not
आने
stuck,
वाला है
and
कुछ
now it's the
खतरनाक
main force that pushes
जेट
back in,
पक्का
makes
कुछ
an opening
करना
for
चाहिए
Laz.
भाई
Lots of
खतरनाक
good
इसी ये मैप तो
bouncing
जेट
back
का
and
ही है
forth, and of course,
जेट
clean
का
shots from Sugar
मुकाबला
Zero as
इस मैप
well.
में
Another
नहीं है
pistol on the board
करना तो
here in
चाहिए
the
डेट
very
को कुछ
first
इस
round
मैप
for
Okay.
Zeta.
Very nice and tempered kind of aggression. But Povi with the
Force
outlaw
again.
now. Wow.
Another force.
Well, let's see what he can
चलो
do with
भाई
it.
शील्ड तो नहीं
I
है
mean, I don't
आउट को
mind a
तो है
force if it works, right? So
सुबह पे भी शील्ड नहीं है
Yeah, you
पोली
got the
पे भी
plant.
शील्ड नहीं है
You got the outlaw. I mean, that's another weapon you have to consider for force buys now. Doesn't want to show that he has it, and
well, a bit of noise makes
ओह
Laz think for a second. Did they go under the two? But well, guess not.
सोचो
It's gonna
बॉडी
be
लगता
Povi
तो
with the shot into
हो
Laz
जाते
instead. Clean head tap, and that weakens mid.
डेप
With
ऊपर
that
बैठा
now,
हुआ है
rotation pulled over from Hiroron, and it's going to be Global Esports slowly
क्या ले रहा है भाई बंदे से
taking.
अपने
yeah, the thing is now you don't have the killjoy either. So a
देख
lot
लिया
of
शायद
that
से
retake capability of clearing out corners with something like the nano swarm no longer
रैंडम
an
फायर
availability.
रस को पता लग गया
Well, similar from before, they let them have the site.
काउंट होते हुए
Trying to spray, but still, spike plant goes down.
भागे पीछे
Fast is
भागे
watching the
वो
flank. It's a force buy, and Zeta knows that, so the weapon
पहले मारना था ना ये जब
not
प्लांट कर रहा था
necessarily in their favor.
Although, Polvi is still favoring this outlaw. Third shot, fourth! Goes in for the
भाई
reload.
खुद ही ब्लाइंड हो गया ये
Tries to hop over to stay alive, but then Russ just guns him down with a stinger.
4 shots, 4 kills for Povi with the new weapon, the Outlaw. Doesn't need to fire twice to get a shot if it's always a headshot. Great showing from the duelist pickup for Global
आ जाओ पोल भी
Esports.
भाई एक
That's crazy. Oh my god. Had
This-
the
बैक
angle from
स्टैब
the
में
two.
दूसरा
Oh,
ठीक
that was okay. He was already damaged up. And that's the strengths
सुबह
of the Outlaw as well. Good pop flash from Russ, too.
Can re-peek just as quick.
ये क्यों
That
रो रहे
is
भाई
lovely. As we move forward into the next round now, of course, economy for Zeta now
ये
Polvi
थोड़ी
just
सी रहेगी
looking to sound off even more shots. A bit of information being retrieved by Blaze King, and it pushes Zeta back.
Honestly, I think this is the best gun to give off warning shots in
Tries to grab
Valorant.
traps.
It's very loud. The base is very deep.
And it just instills fear.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how much space they got off of that warning shot.
It's almost scarier than an operator when you just listen to
भाई
it.
कितना रीटेक खेलेंगे बंदे
Welcome to the Wild West, buddy. Eddie Young Haseo. Asteroid's gonna appreciate that one. Anyway, toxic screen down.
किल जो जेट को देखो
Giving Global Esports a
जेट ने
chance
देखा क्या
because they
हाँ
know that any of these
जेट
pistols
ने क्या
could
मारा
be
भाई
right around the corner. Benkai getting caught out by Depp. Not what you want to have happen as Depp picks up that Spectre.
Yeah, with that snake bite down, they know that Russ not quite waiting in the default position.
अरे 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 अरे
That's a great shot, and so is Duran. I mean, they're all peeking out at the same time. One shot,
हो
one
गया भाई
kill.
कैन यू क्लच इट ब्रो
I need to
स्टिंगर
see
है
their POV on that
अफसोस
one. Now it's gonna be lightning fast with nothing but a stinger.
भाई इधर से भी आ रहा है
Barrel staring down
ओह,
right at
चल
him.
नहीं आया बची
Goes in for a bit of a quick peek.
तो वो
Takes
हेड
out
मारा
the
बे
first
हेड
player.
मार रहा नहीं
Tucks back around. 20 seconds remaining, and he has to kind of either go in for, well, at this point,
बच्चा बच्चा अभी
all the
कूदा
kills.
And this is one of those situations where, I mean, sure, you had one outlaw, but you've got these stingers in hand. And when it comes to the B site,
अरे अरे अरे
I mean, you're not the one with the harbor. Those sheriffs are going
चलो
to be just
एंटी
as strong, if not stronger. The problem being, Benkai, I believe, was also picked off in the middle of the round, so not much of a chance to rotate to A. And things fall apart. They already had to commit to the plant. They fake it off the snake
भाई
bite
उधर क्या
swarm,
मरा है बे?
draw them out into closer
उधर हाँ
range,
इधर देखना है,
and they're just
जेट ने मारा जो
wow.
इसको हल्के में
I mean, this just kind of
आराम
shuts down
से।
everything. This is why they commit to the B site. The peaks right as the screens go down. Very well done from Zeta Division.
Does give you an idea of what both teams are capable of. Benkai
भाई
definitely
ये
looking for
पहाड़
these
पे
lurks,
फेंकेगा
but at the same
देखना।
time, my goodness, those peaks from Zeta Division. So Eco off of Ecos, we got the thrifty win right back in, and now Zeta's got the rifles and is that an outlaw and hero run? It's gonna be a full
ये
buy
तो
from
सबको
Eco,
पता लग गया जेटर
but
जीत रही
some
है।
have to.
Yeah, so Zeta's trying to make this back into their bonus, right? Picking up the weapons that their opponents dropped in that last round.
मिड से जाते रहा
We'll
अपना
see,
बंदा।
because they have the capabilities.
मारा
Oh,
मारिया। अरे रिवील हुआ।
Eco
tagged up.
अरे बढ़िया।
gets the
अरे जी
tag, and
जी।
now Lightning Fast
हो गया,
proving
ये
that
राउंड तो
he
मिलना
is
चाहिए
that
भाई, ये राउंड तो
dreamer
मिलना
from
चाहिए।
South
बी से आ रहे
Asia.
दोनों।
Peeks out, picks up
मिड
the
से आएगा
trophy,
तो
and
वो
all of a
अलार्म
sudden
बोर्ड तो
Zeta
था ही
Division
शायद,
are left wanting more.
या नहीं था?
And this type of turning up the tempo, this is going to benefit GE a lot, right? Because given their compositions, given their tendencies, a lot of people are
चलो
going to
बैक
start
स्टेप्स
to
हुआ
assume,
देख रहा है,
okay, you're going to wait till
बाकी
late
सारे
game before you go
स्पाइक
for
को
a
देख
set
रहे हैं।
play. It's things like these deep lurks, and these other ideas, the different tempos that really start to play a macro game of Valorant against your opponents.
Yeah, because it's
सेव
just
कर
like
ले भाई, अब नहीं
you
टाइम।
had a bit of pressure towards B from earlier on, and then you also always thinking Benkai might lurk around corners sometimes, and we can't just always leave
फट
B
गया
to
रे।
deal with him.
सेव
Meanwhile, on the
सेव।
other hand, off of the next round, Global Esports just goes in for that mid play, and that's something that Zeta, hasn't really defended all too well. Remember the previous round where Polvi picked up that quad kill. So, Zeta has a bit of thinking to do.
And I like that Lightning Fast just commits early towards screens as well, right? Because you can't really lurk as efficiently into Kitchen anymore with that window available. His team already creeping up into the site. They make the call,
ये
of
बढ़िया
course, as
निकाला
they're jumping into the
लाइटनिंग।
drone that, okay, site is empty, so Lightning Fast knows
That was
that
John
means...
Wick behavior, okay? That was John Wick behavior.
John Wick. All
क्या
right.
बोल रहा है
Well,
भाई?
Vandal wasn't quite a pistol that we're looking at, but it was a great lurk there. Gets the 444 himself.
Very nicely done.
चल भाई जेट।
Now we've got Polvi on the
आई वांट टू सी
backstore.
जेट कुछ करे,
And they're looking to open things
राड़ा
up.
कर दे।
Hey, Zeta definitely
ये
went
वापस
back off of
कहाँ
this.
से गया भाई ये बंदा?
But what's curious
अरे
here
मारा
is
एक।
Lightning Fast with this lurk up around Hut.
Oh, he's buying so much time. And
परेशान
Benkai,
कर दिया भाई।
No,
Benkai with the backup comes out from the other side of the map.
things just start to fall apart for Zeta
भाई ने
Division.
अल्ट मारा है, कोई तो आ जाओ यार।
Peeking into lurks, and at the same
छोड़ो।
time, not quite able to make this retake happen just yet. I think they're opting for that save, but while you're going for that,
सुबह
Lightning
पीछे ही
Fast
देख
is
रहा है।
trying to
सुबह
slow
को
things
एक ड्यूटी
down.
है
Wow,
भाई, तू
okay,
पीछे
that's
देख।
John Wick behavior.
I mean,
पीछे
this
से कोई
is,
आया मैं
I
तो
mean,
तेरे
he's
को
going
मारूंगा।
deep. He's going on a solo mission, just pick up frags. He needs two more. If he gets one and dies, he still gets a Viper's Pit as well.
वाइपर
It's not
वाइपर
bad.
मार
Good
दिया।
shout.
नाइस।
It's one.
ये
Now,
Eco
लाइटनिंग
damage already
फेस्ट
done.
just falls back, allows for Polvi, who is on
बहुत
a
मार
mission,
रहा है भाई।
to go for a little bit more. Just now playing off
चलो
of
मर
this,
गया।
wants to check. They want to take those.
वाइपर है भाई, कैड़ा
All
खेलता है
right,
वाइपर।
we've lost a plot.
ये तो
It's time
पता
to
है।
save.
Yeah, we got mighty close to that lockdown.
भाई जेट वाले को वाइपर
Well,
कह
but
रहा हूँ
hey,
ना मैं।
damage done to
बढ़िया।
the economy a little bit.
बाकी का तो
Viper's
पता है।
Pit also picked up by Lightning Fast. I think you see it on his face, like, okay, maybe that was a little bit too much, right? Once we didn't get the counter peak, but the
एक
teammates are there as well, and that's something they're going to notice with Global Esports. Is that obviously his team, the comms are good. They're all
सुबह
players
भाई
who
का
are
एक काम
used
है
to
बैक स्टेप
calling
मारो।
and sharing ideas, leading the team in one way or another. Lightning Fast enjoying the time on the stage. He talked about how he wanted to
टाइम
be
आउट हो
on
गया।
the main roster. He wanted his chance on the stage
अब बोल रहे हैं भाई
consistently.
तुमसे
The
रीटेक
team
नहीं
has
हो
now
रहा
put the
भाई,
trust in him to be that
तुम साइड
representative
होल्ड
here
कर लो
for Global
खड़े
Esports,
खड़े।
for South Asia. You're going to be
रीटेक
part of
तो
the
नहीं हो
main
पाएगा।
roster. You're on stage every
साइड
single
होल्ड कर
time.
दो।
How long
और ये
can you
मिड
help
फ्लैंक
extend
जो
the
मार
tournament
रहा है
life
उसकी
in a
मारो
setting like
वैसे।
kickoff?
मिड
I
तो
think
यही
he's
बात
gonna
हो
extend it pretty
रही
well. I mean, off of
है।
this
सच में
map,
यही हो
off of
रहा
that performance from round 2 and so on and so forth, he is
है। छोड़
definitely
दो भाई तुम
showing
रीटेक।
us that
You play
he
on
is
site
back.
and stop the mid
But at the
flank.
same time, though, for Zeta, I mean, this was their map pick. The start is not
अब
great.
मिड मिड पे जाएगा कौन जाएगा?
It just feels as
वाइपर
though, although this is a different map, the
या जेट?
ideas from the previous one definitely stay intact, and Global Esports are really trying to figure out how to play off of that pacing.
Yeah, I mean, this is global esports just getting a good read on the first couple rounds and Zeta's tendencies, right? They leave A side open, then they go for the retake. It's a pretty heavy flank coming out from B side. GE starting to get very well aware of that. Of course, the force buy helped kind of even out the rounds early on as well. So I like this timeout because now Zeta should
अब
have
साइड
some
पे ही
other
खेलेगा
ideas in
बंदा.
the works, and it's
चलो
going to be a
अब
push
साइड
right
पे ही
down
है.
tube.
Wow. Okay. That's something different. Bit of that Vandal play, but they gotta stay hidden well enough to make it happen. Global
अरे
Esports
इतना
is
भी
very
बाहर नहीं
busy
भागना
getting
था.
such a push as well, so just creeping up onto A site. The 0 point clears out the entire thing. Nobody's here. We get a free plant.
Yeah, now you know,
हार्बर
okay, site's empty again. Surely it's
बैकस्टैब
another
सुबह
retake
और वो
coming in
देख रहे
from
हैं
both
वाइपर.
sides of the site. Polvi, that
डैमेज
did hurt
पड़ा
a bit
पोल
more
भी
than you
को.
wanted.
Still good for the time being. He manages
भाई
to
वो
get
बैकस्टैब
that
3
save
बंदे क्या
and
कर रहे हैं?
crucially this angle on towards Rafters
Yeah,
because that's where Laz wants to be.
and Zeta, this time they're
चल
not
चल
flanking
किलजॉय
early,
हटा.
right? They're just putting that pressure in that this is what we always do. They're looking to go in with the main force.
सुबह
Still
बस
trying to
जेट.
switch things around, but still Polvi holds his ground. Manages to gun down
चलो
two.
गया
A bit of a
बैकस्टैब
flank
ट्रेड
coming through,
निकला.
but not quite for long. Lightning fast trades out depth.
So
And then comes Euron from the front. Null command sussed out position.
हार्बर स्पाइक के
But then you still
पास.
gotta
किलजॉय के
deal with
साइड में
the entire
वाइपर.
lightning fast. I don't know how much the Cove can do because they haven't quite
Oh,
tapped the spike yet. Those
yeah.
नहीं कर
lineups,
पाएगा भाई.
they
डिक्लेयर
are
हो गया.
making it work. Euron able to pick up one more, but then that's about it. Sugar Zero running away, holding onto the rifle. Global
नहीं हो
Esports over the top.
रहा.
Yeah, and the KO utility coming in handy as well. Obviously, Zeta Division not able to activate their abilities for a long time. They had to fight through that retake. Couldn't set up for something like a Cove stick in
Ah.
half and pressure a little bit further against the attacking team. I mean, Polvi getting those first 2 kills as well. You love the energy from this team. I mean, surely they will continue to release some comms throughout the year, and it is great to listen. They've got such good energy across the board.
Two names really stand out right now: Lightning Fast and Polvi. The snake bite, the
अब ये
amazing
घुसेंगे क्या?
graphics. What more could you want? Zeta is the one that has to catch up to it, and right now they're trying to put out the roadblock up around pipes. Laz able to get the first one, but
पूरे
not for long
भाई.
until Huron arrives. Guns down with a bit of
अरे
fire
भाई.
towards Russ, and then
सुबह
picks up
भाई.
the third onto Lightning Fast.
यूरान
BSK
भाई.
cannot do all too much now as he's up on top of Nest.
I mean, this crazy aggression from Zeta. Last pushing out all the way up front, and then Depp just trying to bounce
चलो भाई.
around and draw all eyes
क्या
on
है ये
him.
ब्लेज
Maxes
किंग?
out, and they just do not suspect yet another member
आज
of
करके
Huron
दिखाएगा.
hiding right around the corner. Able to hold his aim for a triple. That should
नहीं कर
stabilize
पाया.
things. That's a 4th kill as well for Huron. Climbing right back into the game. Hunter's Fury available for him to counter out and maybe push them back out of the next
रह गया.
round too.
Now we can play retake. Still though.
I mean, this is just they got a sight of him, but at that point it was a little too late. He was so ready for it too. I mean, the first double kill,
अब
very
जी जाएगी बी
excellent.
पे.
And these are the moments we saw from him in just a couple rounds during the offseason
जी
as well.
जाएगी
Very
बी
sharp shooting
पे.
in the zone.
That's what we need to see from Zeta as well. I mean, you got to fight fire with fire sometimes, and maybe the answer was just to really get a good read for where Global would push out and then to take off against that. But here it comes now. Off of those wins from before, Global picks up the operator. Polvi is in a damn good position. Here's the Aldrin, wants to shoot it down. But nothing doing for the
रोटेट
time
कर लो
being.
ये पे
Zeta
चलेगा.
heard the op too, though, right? That's why they're not giving him the time of day. They just say keep him trapped in mid.
बढ़िया बढ़िया
A, we've
बढ़िया
still got
बढ़िया.
utility from Killjoy to get
किलजॉय
information
ने
to
एंट्री
hold
पे
a
डाल
little
रखा
bit
है.
of time. B, you still got the
जेट
double controllers.
मिड रोक रहा है.
Patience coming in handy, but problem being they haven't ever retaken under tube or into tube. So this is something that Zeta will have to keep in
सुबह
mind
और
the
जेट उधर
entire
जा रहे.
time.
Just trying to stay hidden.
नेक्स्ट टाइम
They don't want to give out too much.
रिवील किया.
Meanwhile, for Global Esports,
चलो चलो चलो.
they've
अभी
managed to
रुकेंगे
get
जब तक
openings
वो
before
रोटेट नहीं करेंगे
because
तब
they
तक
always
रुकना
put a
पड़ेगा.
bit of pressure, and with mental conditioning, they pull some of
वो
the
चेक
hits
कर
out.
लेंगे तो ये भाग जाएंगे
This
यहाँ से.
time, without the
भागो.
opportunity that Polvi was
3
definitely looking
सेकंड
for,
है. भागो.
they're going to take a little bit of time. There's 30 seconds left, Will.
चलो अब बी पे जा रहे हैं.
There's a
अब
alarm
ये
bot
इधर
here.
जा
The
रहे हैं.
Cove's
और
coming
माय
in.
गॉड
This
रुक
one
गया.
does enough damage.
And a snake
वापस
bite
आ
on
गए
the other
3
side.
बंदे.
Have enough time to rotate if you go now, but they're not going to.
Gotta commit, and it is
ले
time,
भाई
but
जी ने
Les
मारा.
just stops you in the nick of time as well. Here comes Depp with an operator of his own, and
चलो चलो.
guess what? The Reckoning committed too. 13
13
seconds, and
सेकंड
this has to be a save.
खत्म हो गया.
Yeah, just gotta make sure
ये
that
तो
you're
Z आ
running.
रहा
The orb, why not?
Yeah, you gotta keep up that operator, build towards that blade storm as well, because you're not looking too healthy. But a save. I mean, you got trapped in mid. And then at that point, this really comes down, I think, to Zeta also
जो
just
टाइम ले लिया
having
बे
no information. So
ना
instead
तो
of
उस
just
साइड
going
के रह
all
पाए ना
out,
इस
we have
साइड
all
के
these
रहता
ultimates for the retake, right? You have the Reckoning, you have the Hunter's Fury. Let's actually group up and make sure we're not getting flanked at any point through mid. Multiple members watching different angles in mid. You've got Killjoy and Harvey Utility blocking off the main entrances. And then they say, as soon as the alarm bot rings, send the Reckoning. They don't have enough time because if they're rotating, we still have members still
भाई तो
anchored
बहुत
down
मुश्किल
on
मैच
B.
जा रहा है
And Global, good timeout.
प्लीज
Just
भाई
trying to say,
वन
okay,
साइडेड
this
मारो
mid
जल्दी कोई
pressure,
एक
unless we get the first pick, it's not working. How else do we adapt from that?
Hence the timeout. So it's gonna have to be a bit of a question for Coach Spin and Big Time. But apart from that, at the same, it's also
भाई
Zeta's
वो
advantage.
कोच है उनका वो
It's
कटिंग
just,
वाला
I
है
like their composition. It's one piece of utility, but the Reckoning does so much. And now with Laz's kills coming through, you're cycling through some ultimates. He's got another lockdown for a good retake or two. It's
चलो आ जाओ
might be
गेम
Zeta
खेलते हैं
coming
तब
on the up and
तक
up.
नई वाली
Yeah, there's a reason this was the comp that started to really rise up once a couple teams showed it off.
ये गेम ट्राई करनी चाहिए देखता हूँ कैसे होग्ड आ जाओ देखते हैं गाइस थोड़ी गेम दिख रही है क्या ठीक है आ जाओ कैसी आवाजें दे रहा है पुश टू टॉक
Welcome to exile.
भाई लैग क्यों कर रहा है
One might
Skip
say
नहीं हो
it's
सकता
the most dangerous place on earth.
Recruit, welcome to Grail. Congratulations on searching out a legitimate line of work.
सेटिंग है
Have no
सेटिंग
fear. We intend to make full use of your unique skill set.
अच्छा ये बनाना पड़ेगा ये ठीक है ये ठीक है ये
I'll
ठीक है
keep your loot till I bring you back.
And that's how you fatten the bottom line.
And that's how you fatten.
Pay attention to your gear. It's powerful kit that can keep you alive. Grail has all sorts of interesting toys. Make a name for yourself, and we'll show you the really good stuff.
क्लियर है ये क्या हेल्थ है क्या
Time for the finishing touch, your Traverser. This spectacular multi-tool is a treasure hunter's best friend. Don't lose it. I have to do a bunch of paperwork if you lose it.
और ये मोहतरमा
Right. Let's get to that end. We've secured a small island to test out. I suppose the only way to ensure we've not that you're. Let's get cracking.
प्लीज
Time to show us what you can do, treasure hunter. Your goal is to find the island's temple and secure the artifact within. Grail has left you some gifts along the way, but this is your show. Good luck.
अरे सेटिंग कहाँ है भाई? Desync on. Shopping. Favorite ठीक है. Watchpary. Auto configure. Far. Medium. 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 Flat. Sure.
Search the island, grab the loot. Got it.
ये क्या था भाई? क्राउच वाला वो करना था. क्राउच.
There they are, disciples in the flesh, or scales, rather. They wiped out the islanders that called this place home. Take them down, before they do the same to you.
ये तो याद आऊँ.
That door has an unconventional locking mechanism. The islanders were ahead of their time, but this lock doesn't hold up against modern tech. A few precise shots to key areas should do the trick.
So I step lightly and keep my head on my back. Easy enough.
Ah. लेफ्ट कंट्रोल से काम. लोडिंग. Pistol.
That's one fine view.
Up there, that temple above the falls. Quite a sight, isn't it?
से क्या होगा?
Consider this a rule of thumb. A temple will always contain artifacts worth looting, unless another treasure hunter has beaten you to the punch, that is.
सारे क्या? ओए. पूजा कर रहे हैं. भाई टेक्सचर की बढ़ानी पड़ेगी. अंता हूँ देखनी होगी. बर्स्ट फायर पिस्टल दिखाई तो. हाँ. हीलिंग फ्लो. देखो. ये क्या क्या ऑप्शन? टेक्सचर. यार खाने पीने को कौन आया?
The rarest artifacts lie within locked treasuries like this one. You must learn the correct order of glyphs to open them up. Quite tricky. You'll discover glyphs hidden across the island. Apparently, even the islanders wrote down their passwords.
No going back now.
क्या करना है बोल दिया
That wasn't the right order for glyphs.
that was the right order 3 होना चाहिए
There's the first glyph. Don't get used to it being that convenient.
भाई डायनासोर्स की आवाज आ रही
Ah, you've rescued a familiar. Follow it. These curious spirits are eager to help worthy adventurers in need.
है वापस चढ़ना पड़ेगा पूरी है
Coming in hot!
I to open add maximum 30 health दूसरा ये रहा तीसरा बंदा भाई तो मुझे यही करना है और डायनासोर
3 glyphs. Well worked. As seen at the top of your HUD, you've uncovered the combination to the treasury door. Find your way back into the temple.
पहले ये वाला भाई यार करो थोड़ी
That, my friend, is an artifact. The true treasures of exile. Extract this artifact to Grail, and we'll reward you in kind. Oh, you've got company. Quickly, these caves will get you to the coast. Just a bit further. Your traverser will keep you moving forward. There's the extraction point. Gain control of it so we can extract you back to the Riftwake. Don't lose control of that point. Your signal's almost locked. Signal locked. Step into the center portal and you'll be home free. Time to get you paid.
भाई डंजियन वंजियन जैसा है, डंजियन में जाओ मिशन करके पूरा। विजिटर प्लेयर है क्या?
Let's speak about the treasure you discovered.
मैडम जी मैं तेरा दो मिनट बात नहीं करते।
Artifacts are the reason we've come to exile. Each
बस मत बोलो। इधर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स रियल प्लेयर्स हैं। लोड आउट में तू क्या देता है? Keep your artifact via loadout menu. ये क्या करता है?
I see you've got a new super-powered pep in your step. As a renegade, you should always be hunting for more artifacts to add to your arsenal. Not only will each artifact unlock new powers, extracting many of these high-value treasures is a guaranteed way to rise through our ranks. There's only one place you'll find more artifacts. Exile. The island's treasures are the keys to your success, so go out there and find something shiny.
कैसे जाते हैं भाई? उसमें देखो क्या है? भाई जाते कैसे हैं मैडम? छोड़ो। ओह तेज भाग रहा है।
Contracts are only available to experienced renegades during.
अच्छा सी बात। तू क्या दे रहा है? कुछ नहीं दे रहा। आओ दोस्तों मेरे साथ। शूटिंग रेंज जॉब और
I'm connecting you with a veteran renegade for some in-the-field insights. Dr. Bjornsson is a bit rough around the edges, but he knows Exile like the back of his abnormally hairy hand.
Cynthia says you've got backbone. I will see if that bone is feeble or strong like a rock.